I did it again. I did it again. I started streaming the podcast on Twitch instead of YouTube. I'm sorry. Now we're live. Now we're ready to go. This is a Nintendo podcast. This is Andres Restart. I am joined by Brandon from What About Nintendo. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, guys. I'm doing well. I'm doing very well.
Very good. So because I ended up doing this even later than late because I was already late, and then I streamed on Twitch instead of YouTube. That's not how it's supposed to work. So that was an accident. But now we're getting started. We have a few different things to talk about, like the Sonic movie poster thing, where we're talking about the Game Awards and everything Nintendo related about that. We're going to be talking about Joker and Smash that came from the Game Awards, and then we're going to be going into our impressions on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and how we feel about the game so far. There's something, Brandon, I know you want to talk about before we sort of jump into the topics, and that was related to the Doom anniversary. So, you know, if you want to put some words in there, go by all means.
Right. So, 25th anniversary of the original Doom was the day. And while no announcements for, any original Doom ports or anything like that were made, Panic Button decided this would be a great time to drop a good performance boost update to the Switch version of Doom 2016 and add video capture mode. So if you guys own that game and you're still playing it, then you should go check that out. Or if you haven't bought the game, there you go. New feature for you to look forward to when you get it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We were talking a little bit about Doom on Twitch when we should have been here on YouTube, and we're just, it's interesting how Doom has come a long way, right? It's now a relevant game in this day and age. It was a big deal back in the day, or at least a big deal in the sense that it was one of the early first-person shooters, and, it sent some benchmarks, and now it's a relatively popular series, and it's doing pretty well, and it's great to have it on the Nintendo Switch, so it's cool. It's a really nice thing, and I want to check out that performance update, but I have to buy Doom. I haven't even bought Doom yet, so I should probably buy it.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's really cool. So, do you want to talk about those Smash sales numbers now, or do you want to save it for when we get into Smash later? Because it's like a separate thing. Like, we're talking about sales as opposed to like our feelings on the game so far, but they're also easily kind of come together.
Yeah, it's a good segue. We should talk about the Game Awards first. Or what's our first topic?
The Sonic thing.
Okay,
but before we let me say hi to everyone in the chat now, because when I said hello, we're on Twitch, not YouTube.
Yeah.
So, hello there, my friends. Chris, Cyndaquil, Mark Jacobs, Sabbath64, Lil Squirt, Vilbeard. How you guys doing? So, and yeah, Lil Squirt, I agree. The bosses are really sick in Smash Bros. I love them. They add a lot of variety to the classic mode. But we'll get more into that later on to the discussion. And we're going to try to streamline things a little bit because I was late. It's my fault. So, yeah. Basically, I was just playing Smash Bros. All night. Let's just be real here. I was playing it all night. I was pretty tired today. So, I slept in. But, yeah, I took a long nap. That's what happened. But let's get into the actual discussion, though. So, that Sonic movie poster, IGN had a little scoop on it. They put out a little poster with a little teaser of Sonic running up, grabbing a couple rings, and we see kind of like a silhouette of Sonic. We can make out some really weird details. It's, most of the internet kind of thinks of it as quite fugly. Brandon, what do you think of it? I can't even hear you now. What's going on?
My bad, I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, my mic, when I press the mute button, sometimes when I press it to unmute, it decides it's not going to. So.
Oh, okay. So how do you feel about the Sonic poster then?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Sonic fan, but that doesn't look quite right. It looks too humanoid, Like, the legs look very human, like, it doesn't look like it should. I feel like Sonic's very cartoony. He's got these, like, weird, like, muscly humanoid legs, and it's weird. Like, I always kind of thought that, this isn't going to turn out well, like Sonic live action, not going to go well. But then I saw, the Pokemon movie, and I was like, oh, Detective Pikachu looks pretty, it might work. Sonic has a chance, and no.
No. It's also a completely different company behind it. Nintendo, Sega. Sega's been known to drop bombs, even with the Sega, even with the Sonic games. When I say bombs, I don't mean good bombs. I mean like failures with the Sonic IP, even with their own series, with their own development studios. So when you go into a movie that what it's already a spotty record becomes significantly more likely to become not so good, right? Like even with Nintendo, who consistently releases some of the best games in the industry, arguably one of the most trusted. It is one of the most trusted companies in the world. People aren't that confident that even they will make good actual game to movie adaptations. But I feel like Nintendo's actually taking it to another level, and they've come up with a really good philosophy for making some interesting movies, at least based on what we've seen from the Pokemon movie and the interviews we've seen from Shigeru about the Mario movie coming in a year or two from now. Because it seems like they're trying to stick to the source material. I think that's the key point here, to really stick to the source material and represent that really well. And this Sonic poster is not doing that at all.
No. I was very shocked when I saw it was the same people who made Fast and Furious. I was like, that's weird.
That doesn't actually make me feel any better about this.
No, it makes me feel worse.
Well, okay. It's a mixed bag, because in terms of paying homage to the series and the details and the acting and the story, yeah, I'm not feeling it from the producers from the Fast and Furious. However, in terms of creating that sense of speed and action, they might be good for that, right?
They might.
So that if that's what they're sort of going for, that could still be a thing. That could be a really interesting thing to see about this movie. But the designs and the overall theming of this movie, I'm not too confident in, and this poster doesn't make me feel any better about it.
No, yeah, it makes everything worse. 'Cause I was not confident before, and I'm definitely not confident now.
But to play devil's advocate, we haven't actually seen how Sonic looks exactly, right? It's all darked out, so it's possible that when we see his full design, it could look. It could actually look worse. You're right. But there's also a small chance it could look a little bit better. And when we see it in motion, it might not be as bad, right?
Yeah, it might not be.
Might not be. But also, you made it. I was going to try and play devil's advocate, but you played godly advocate.
Played angel's advocate.
That it could be even worse.
Yes.
Which is a really interesting point, and you're totally right. So, I'm not very confident about what this poster is saying about the Sonic movie, but hey, I don't want to just completely give up on it. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to watch the trailer when we do see the trailer, and I mean, we'll see. But yeah, definitely, I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I'm thinking this is probably a bomb, but I do want to see how it's going to turn out. Yeah.
There's a very small % chance that the movie could still be good. Maybe the designs are just terrible if the movie itself is actually good.
Right. It could also be one of those things where, like, it's bad, but it's kind of campy, and it's kind of like one of those movies that's so bad it's good, right? Basically, like, all the video game movies from the 90s, like, you watch them just because of the fan service, right? Because you're like, oh, man, my favorite video game is in a movie now, but it's actually a terrible movie, right? Kind of like the Super Mario Brothers movie. That was terrible.
I saw somebody on Twitter who put, like, the Sonic poster and then the poster for the Super Mario Bros. Movie with Luigi and Mario holding up their plungers. You know which one I'm talking about? It's kind of the iconic.
I have to go back and look.
Yeah, and it totally had the same vibe. It was bad. So I was like, oh no.
So maybe the whole joke here, right? The whole thing they're going for is that Sonic can go so fast in this movie that he's a time traveler, and he's actually time traveled this movie from the shitty, campy, weird 90s movie days or early or late 80s movie days to the latter or the most recent time of the 21st century, and that's why it looks the way it does, because they've forgotten about all the failures of the game and movie adaptations that have come over the last 20 to 30 years.
Right, yes, that's what they're going for.
Yeah, sure. I think that's what it is. Sonic can time travel because he's reached a new level of speed. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. What do you guys feel about how you guys feel about this Sonic movie? Yeah, Little Squirt, I am liking Smash and World of Light. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Let's see. yes, Sabbath, Smash was Ultimate is well worth it, I think.
Oh yeah.
Mark Jacobs is saying that Sonic movie looks something like something out of a creepy pasta. That seems like the level of writing behind this movie, kind of, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sabbath is saying Sonic's hands look too small. That makes sense. That could be the case.
Possibly. I think it's more his legs that are the problem for me, but whatever.
Yeah, Lil Squirt saying he has no idea how they're going to make a good Sonic movie without having it animated. Yeah, I feel like for Sonic, maybe live action wasn't the right way to go. I think they may have wanted to go for the have Sonic interact with real people sort of thing, because I guess the problem is that I don't know how the hell the design of Sonic is not promising from what we've seen so far.
Honestly, they could have just made it look like his cartoon version, but more furry, more realistic fur or something, you know?
Cynical is saying that Nintendo technically has no input on the Pokemon movie, but it still looks good. I'll have to look into that. So I'm not gonna shed anything more on that, but that could be the case. But I do feel like that the general philosophy with Nintendo lately is to stick close to the source material, and Pokemon Company is doing the same thing. They're paying attention to the source material, whether it's Nintendo mandated or not. They're following a similar trend, is what I'm getting at here.
Right.
But it's an important point to note. Dragon Ball, Samus is saying cough cough Dragon Ball Evolution all over again. I don't want to even think about that. I can't believe when they showed the Uzaru, it was basically just like a Yeti costume. Like, it looked like someone just got like a really ugly Yeti costume and put it on. It was terrible. Hey, Corky Kick. Jim Carrey's playing Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, I forgot about
okay,
that.
that's actually really cool.
Yeah, I think he would be good.
That actually kind of makes it sound a little better. I didn't know that. Yeah, but it does kind of look like Sonic is some sort of werewolf of Vilbeard. That not too far off. I think that there's something weird about that. It's a weird design. But I think we're pretty much in agreement that the design is weird, and if this movie is going to be successful, they have a lot to prove. And do you feel any differently, Brandon?
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I like Corky Kirk's, like, I wonder if Sonic's gonna have two black eyes like a real hedgehog. It's like just black.
Oh God. Oh
That'd be
God.
so
That would be
bad.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, I really hope not. That would be so bad.
Some hedgehogs have like red eyes like mice do. Ooh. Oh no.
Yeah. Hello there, Cloudy Mount Gaming. How you doing? 764 saying he has to see the trailer first. Yeah, I think when we see the trailer, then we'll have a much better idea of how terrible or potentially maybe okay this movie might be. Or
Right.
it could be good. It's possible. It's possible. So hopefully, but we'll see what happens, guys. But yeah, let's move down the topics here. Now let's get into the Game Awards.
Right.
So I have my phone here, and it kind of like wasn't exactly. It wasn't obvious when I was watching it. We watched it together, actually.
Right.
I forgot. We watched it together, and I don't know if we realized it at the time, but there was a fair bit of Switch announcements. Well, we did, but there were some games that I didn't know were coming to Switch. Like, when I saw the Mortal Kombat trailer, I didn't know that was coming to the Nintendo Switch, but apparently it is.
Yeah, they didn't announce that during the show. Nintendo revealed that after it's in trailer.
Yeah, I'm looking at this retweet. Source Gaming tweeted this: all of tonight's Nintendo games announcements from the Game Awards. Sayonara Wild Heroes 2019, an exclusive Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 2019, Crash Team Racing apparently is coming on the Nintendo Switch as well in June 2019, Dauntless 2019, Mortal Kombat 11 in April, Stranger Things 3 2019, and the Joker DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So that's actually a bit more than I originally thought. And in terms of games that matter to me, I mean, there's some interesting things there. Yeah, that's crazy. So, and I didn't know Mortal Kombat was coming to the Switch. I thought it wasn't announced yet, but that's really nice to see. The Crash game, which I was hoping would be coming to Nintendo Switch, is. So that's also.
Is that? Do we know if that's coming day one with the PS4 version, or?
According to Source Gaming, from this tweet I have, they're saying June 21, 2019.
All right, that's when they announced it for the PS4. So, according to them, that'd be day and date.
Right.
It's just interesting because I thought it would be.
I'm skeptical that could be an error, but it looks, according to Source Gaming from this tweet at least, which they tweeted on December 7th, so this could be a few days old. They may have updated it, but yeah, I mean, the game's at least coming, so that's really cool. There's a lot there. Now, for me, right, let's talk about this, Brandon. I think we need to talk about this. Let's just kind of get the elephant in the room, or maybe people have just gone over it already. I kind of have, but I still think we should talk about it. Metroid Prime 4 and Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, everyone, and I mean everyone who's like a YouTuber or a journalist, was talking about Metroid being at the Game Awards. This wasn't just us, right? This was everyone, not just the crazy leaker tubers that just like to talk about leaks, right? It wasn't just, the small YouTubers, like even guys like the Game Explain guys who didn't even believe in the Grinch leak, they didn't even want to make a video on that. We're talking about Metroid for sure being at the Game Awards, right? The guys that, like, Liam Robertson and Pixelpar, who were giving us hints about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee before they were announced, and Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, they were also talking about Metroid being at the Game Awards, or at least hinting at it. So my point is that everyone expected it, and it wasn't there at all. We were all surprised. Not only that, Reggie did a whole Metroid shirt thing with Jeff Keighley months ago, and maybe we were buying too much into that shirt thing. Maybe we really were. But then he wore another Metroid shirt today. I mean, they're at the Game Awards, right? Like, well, it was technically a Smash shirt, but it had Ridley was the only character on there. Like, is he doing? Do you think it's intentional, Brandon, or you think it's just coincidental and that Reggie just loves wearing Metroid shirts, especially when we're all anticipating Metroid, but it's just all a coincidence? Or maybe he's a douche and he's just trying to troll us. Or maybe there were plans to have Metroid, which is why everyone thought it, but it was pulled late into the show. I don't know.
I'm thinking it's the last one. I don't think there's any way that literally like every leaker on the internet was saying it was going to happen without no information. Now, some of them have come out and be like, oh, we were just hyped up about it, which pisses me off. Like, if you're only speculating, say you're speculating. If you're somebody known to be a reputable leaker source, and you say something that's speculation, but you don't say that it's speculation, you're straight lying essentially to your fan base and tricking them into believing something that you don't even know if it's true or not. But that point aside, I do think that they probably had something announced and they were just holding off for some reason.
Yeah, well, an interesting thought that didn't occur to me until after the fact. I think I don't even know where, because I'm fortunate to get a decent amount of comments between the polls I put up on the community tab and the videos I have and all that stuff. But I've seen a few comments over the videos I've made suggesting that, it just kind of made more sense to just focus on Smash Bros. Because that was the game that was coming out hours after the show. And featuring Metroid Prime 4, which could be Nintendo's big 2019 holiday game, like how Smash is this year's big holiday game. Maybe they decided that it wasn't the best move marketing-wise, and maybe they just decided to focus on the hype for Smash Bros. And they felt that was enough, and they could hold their cards for the Metroid stuff for next year. That's a possibility, and maybe they were planning on featuring Smash Bros., but it was a late scratch. Maybe, actually, they were still... Here's an idea. What if Metroid was initially going to be their big thing, but because they weren't... It's coming together now. So if you go back to E3, right? Reggie and Jeff Keighley were there together. There was a whole video on it, and they was like, "Oh, Smash Bros. Is coming out the day after the Game Awards. Why are you doing this to us, Reggie? Why are you doing this?" Like, "Oh, well, maybe we could do something about it." So they teased something about Smash Bros. Back at E3, right? And then we got and then a few months later, when they convened to, I guess, work on what they're going to do for the Game Awards, Reggie and Jeff Keighley took a picture together, and Reggie was wearing a Metroid shirt. So at this point, we're like, oh, so we're going to get Smash and Metroid, right? That's kind of how we felt things were going. And then, we got the Smash Direct November 1st, right? And then, like, the week after, Sakurai tweeted that the plans for the DLC characters have been fully made. He made it sound like as if the plans are finalized after the Smash Direct in November. which would be after the
Right.
time that Reggie and Jeff Keighley convened together to make plans for E3. So just a hypothetical, but what if initially they planned to have Metroid, right? And maybe that's where all the sources sort of thought, oh, okay, so Metroid's going to be at the show, but because of the nature of this DLC character, Persona 5, and then between Atlas and Sega, Nintendo had to work out a deal, and because they didn't know the full plans, they've only just recently, since a few weeks ago, decided who are going to be the DLC characters, finalized them at least. They just finalized the plans. Maybe they added this DLC announcement instead of Metroid because those plans changed. What if that's what happened and they just swapped them? They decided just to focus on one or the other, and because they got the plans, they went with Persona 5 as DLC as opposed to Metroid.
Mm-hmm. It's very possible. It's also possible they wanted to show it off in Nintendo Direct. I definitely think that there's going to be a January or February Direct this year. I think there's a lot more spring and summer titles coming out for the Switch in 2019 compared to this year. And we did get a smaller Direct this year, probably because of the major outcry. I don't even know if Nintendo is like planning that or not. But there was
we got
like a
Direct
mini.
Yeah, we got.
But I think
was it in January? Did it even hit in January?
Did it?
Did
I think it was January.
I don't even remember.
January, February, sometime. No, I think it was like the very end of January.
I'll look it up. Nintendo
But I definitely
Direct.
think this year we're
It was
gonna
the
get
one
one because
It was the one where we got Dark Souls, right?
yes,
Yeah.
'cause we need to know about Fire Emblem. We need about Yoshi. We need about Daemon X Machina. Probably Animal Crossing if that comes out late spring, early summer, somewhere around then. We need to know about all the games that haven't really been talked enough about. Like we don't know enough about Fire Emblem. Definitely not. That needs to be talked about a lot more. Yoshi, we know enough, but we need a release date. And Daemon X Machina, they could definitely talk a little bit more about that and give us a release date. So there's a few games that we already know, like we need something for this.
I agree. A Direct early in the year to talk about Fire Emblem, Yoshi, and Daemon X Machina. Anything else, I don't expect. I don't expect anything else. I'm not saying there won't be anything else. I'm just saying that anything else the way Nintendo's been treating things, or just talking about things that are coming in the near future, they could save those for E3. Just kind of leave us hoping for more. Maybe they throw in a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD announcement there. Maybe a Skyward Sword HD announcement there. Maybe they give us a sneak peek into Animal Crossing. That could be something. I'm actually planning a video on that perhaps next week because I'm going away for the holidays. That video may come out around that time. But I mean, we're also I didn't ask you, Brandon, so I'm asking you now live. But next week, I think we could do a podcast just talking about Nintendo in 2019. I guess it would be a decent time to do it because the thing is, I'm actually going to go out on a holiday the week after, so there won't be a podcast the week of Christmas. No, the week after Christmas, I should say. Because the next week... Let me check.
No, next week is the week before Christmas.
Right, so we can still... So next week we're going to have a podcast.
Right.
Right.
The week before Christmas, we'll have a podcast. And then the next week. Oh, well, that's 2 weeks before
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah. I'll be gone. That's the thing. I'll be gone. The next week we're going to do the podcast, but the week after is Christmas Eve. I will be away during that week. So there won't be... So we're going to take a 1 week break. So next week is the last podcast before the holiday. So you want to do like a Nintendo Switch 2019 prediction sort of thing like we did last Christmas? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so... And that's how the planning works on between 3 Star and What About Nintendo, guys. So, yeah. But anyway, let's get back on topic though. Just going back to the Game Awards. So yeah, Metroid, for whatever reasons, it wasn't there. But everything else, pretty cool. How do you feel about the Game Awards overall?
Overall, the Nintendo stuff that was shown didn't interest me a lot, to be honest. I don't care about Crash Team Racing. Mortal Kombat may be something that I get into, but a few years ago when I was looking at Mortal Kombat 10, I didn't really enjoy it. But I might like this one. I didn't really play it, but I saw other people playing, and I was like, whatever. but I might like this one depending on what they add or do with it. So I don't know. I mean, it's coming to the Switch, so I'll have more reason to check it out. I don't care too much about Joker coming in, other than the fact that he's a cool, like, interesting character that nobody really expected, and I think it kind of, you know, you made a video suggesting that it could open the doors for some more like crazy DLC characters, which is cool. And I do want to check out Persona 5 now. I might get that on the PS4, or maybe they'll get announced for the Nintendo Switch. I like how everyone is now rumoring Persona 5 for the Switch literally the day of the Game Awards. Like, it wasn't just pure speculation. Like, you know, every one of those rumors is pure speculation. People don't just be like, oh, all of a sudden, now that a Persona 5 character has been announced for Smash, we have gotten the intel that Persona 5's... No, it's just speculation. Come on, people. But, yeah, I'm more interested in the third-party announcements. Like, I remember, you know, we had a good reaction to Ancestors, Humankind Odyssey, that game where you're an ape and you go through... you know, the years you evolve in Africa. That would look cool.
If assuming that they're actually doing it the way we think, where like your progression in the game is your evolution as you evolve over time, that's how you gain better stats or learn different techniques and tricks and mechanics in the game. That would be amazing. So that's really interesting. There's also that game that's from the Fallout creators. I forget the name of it. It's basically like Fallout, but on an alien planet.
Was that Ashen? I can't remember. I'm looking through trying to find it. Journey to a Savage Planet wasn't it? That was the game where they just showed pretty much nothing.
I don't know. There's a word Obsidian in my head. I don't know if that's relevant at all.
Obsidian is a creator that showed something. Like The Outer Worlds, maybe? Is that it? Obsidian's making that.
Actually, Nintendo Game Talk, he's saying Outer World. What's up, bro? Yeah, thank you for that, bro. By the way, guys, Nintendo Game Talk has his own Nintendo channel. Make sure to check it out. Yeah, Outer World looked amazing. I thought it looked great. So there were some pretty cool...
the performance issues that were...
yeah, we did. I think we were already seeing frame drops in it, yeah.
The Pathless was cool. That's the one where you had like the eagle and you could kind of like Breath of the Wild glide around.
Yeah, that one also looked really cool too. Very cool.
And apparently there was Among Trees was really pretty. That was the one with like the super colorful forest that you could explore around in. I don't know if you remember that one.
The names are just I can't. I'm not good with names. No. But all the other games I remember, and they all look really, really cool. I'm very interested to see how they turn out.
So those were my like games of the show that they announced.
I know apparently a lot of people are hyped about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I remember playing one of them on the Wii, I think, maybe. It was okay. It wasn't my cup of tea, I guess. Right. Maybe because I'm not a Marvel nerd. I've gone into Marvel because of the movies over the last few years, but I'm not like a Marvel nerd. So I'm not as hyped about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but to see it as an exclusive to the Nintendo Switch is very interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, you know, for those who it's a big deal to, congratulations. This is it seems like a pretty cool game coming to the Switch. You know, having it as an exclusive is I think that's big. I think that's pretty big. So, definitely really cool. And I did get the sense that the Nintendo Switch had more of a presence than PlayStation and Xbox at the show. Or do you agree with me or no?
Yeah, they definitely had more like exclusive games, whereas the other ones were coming to like, you know, PC and PS4 and Nintendo Switch and Xbox. You know, they're coming to everything for the most part. Yeah, there was no like exclusive PlayStation, exclusive Xbox stuff that I remember. No, not really. I mean, Crash Team Racing was kind of geared towards PlayStation, but that's also coming to the Xbox One and the Switch. We're not sure if it's day and date or not, but it's coming. Well, so
Nintendo Game Talk is saying PS4 exclusive, I think. Is he talking about Outer World?
Is it?
Let me look. Yeah.
I don't think it's coming to the Switch, but
I doubt. Yeah, I doubt it.
Let me see.
I doubt it.
Didn't get. No, it's coming to Xbox One and Steam. I have the trailer right here. It says PS4, Xbox One, and Steam.
So what's exclusive to PS4 then? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't think anything was exclusive to
Oh,
PS4
the
to be
Eagle
honest.
game. He's saying the Eagle game.
Oh, really? For real?
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, overall, you know, as a gamer, though, there were definitely some interesting games there. If you guys were there for the stream, though, you may have noticed that I was complaining the entire time. Not because of the announcements of the games, but because of all of the ads and how slow the experiences was. Like, we didn't finish the Game Awards until minutes before midnight. Like, minutes. Like, there was, like, less than 10 minutes left before midnight came and I was able to play Smash Ultimate. And it was kind of, slow for me. But that's how it always been for the Game Awards. So that's kind of the thing. But, you know, whatever. I think overall,
I've seen some people on Twitter like, oh, it was so much better this year. There was so much, like, a better flow. And I was like, no, it was so much, the flow was terrible.
Well, I don't think the flow was good last year, so.
No, it wasn't. But I think, I didn't watch all of it last year, but I watched a lot of it last year. And the year before that, I just kind of, like, watched, like, you know, just doing stuff and had it on in the background. And this was, I think this might have been worse. Like,
but we focused on watching this one. That's the thing. We sat down to stream it together, and
those 20 million vape commercials. Oh God,
it was so many commercials, and I just felt like it was slower paced. I feel like they need to squeeze down the show to 2 hours. It's just, who has the time for that? No one watches 3.5 hour to 4 hour things. Like,
we were broken men at the end.
I was dead. I was like, the first hour I was hyped, but the next 2 hours I was like, come on, just give me something here.
Real.
And then we got
I swear you cracked like halfway through. You were like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I cracked 4 times. I was done. I was so done. You know, if it wasn't for you guys, I would have stopped watching it. I wouldn't even watch. If it wasn't for you guys, I would never have even watched it. I would have just been like, okay. Yeah. Whatever the announcements come, I'll jump on that. I would have just been like checking Twitter and YouTube for like those trailers, and that's it. Because I mean, it's just the Game Awards. It's slow paced, man. It's way too slow paced for me. It's never been the kind of thing I've been really into watching. Like, even with the Emmys and stuff, like, I've never been into that. You know, I'm sure, like, oh, okay, I hope that movie wins or something. I might watch it for 5 minutes during one of the different awards things, but I'll never stick around for the whole thing. I never do. So, you know, I mean, if they're going for that, congratulations. It's boring just like those shows to me. But, you know, I think that the actual premieres are pretty solid. Even though I didn't get my Metroid, the premieres are pretty solid. Right, and Nintendo Switch, as a Switch fan, I think Switch fans have a lot to be excited about. As a gamer, you know, there's some pretty interesting games out that are coming. So it's really cool, and I'm overall, I'm pleased with what came out of it. I'm not pleased with the show, but I never expected to be. I kind of knew it was going to be hell, which is why I was happy that you wanted to do it with me, so I had someone to talk to live, to help me get through that anguish. But, you know, it was okay. But
I'd like to point out that the Pathless, which is the Eagle game, as you like to call it, it's also coming to PC via the Epic Games Store. So, PS4 and PC. But no, it's not coming to the Switch or the Xbox One, unfortunately. I'll get it on the PC.
Yeah. We'll see. I need to learn more about these games, that I'm definitely interested. So, let's focus, let's hone in on this Joker announcement now. But first, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat, because, you know, I don't want to ignore you guys. But let's see what you guys are saying here. Savas is saying, Vilbeard, believe it or not, I have not seen any of the Avenger movies. Oh my god, you should watch them. They're really good. Have you seen the other Marvel movies leading up to it? You should definitely check it out, man. They're really, really good. Yeah, Nintendo Game Talk said there's too many musical numbers in his opinion. Yeah, I agree. Too many.
It felt like there were less than last year, to be honest.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if they could somehow integrate the music into, like, the transitions instead of it, like, being, okay, now everyone focus your attentions on this. What if they just had a concert that was in between, like, each announcement, but, like, it all blended into each other, and they just cut down, like, all those transition times. I know that...
At the very least, they were short. At least they weren't that long. They were, like...
Right, that is true. They were short.
Last year... they were like 10, 15 minutes. And maybe I'm just remembering wrong, but they were long from when I remember last year. I'd like go and I'd like be like, oh crap, a music thing. I'd leave and I'd go do stuff. I come back and like they're still doing the same musical number.
They weren't very long. That's true. There was a lot of commercials which I just didn't like, but they also make money from those commercials, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, you shouldn't have commercials. Okay, how do we make money then? I don't know. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to say how they can fix that, but I definitely think that they should at least cut down the time, but they probably won't, so, oh well.
No, yeah, they will.
Lazy James agrees that the commercials, yeah, he said truth commercials. Mark Jacobs, let's give it up for the slow orchestra performances.
At least some of them were like good. Like I liked the one I think they could have kept in for sure.
You want to bring in Koloko? He says he wants to jump on, I think.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Let me bring you on.
The one I really liked, the musical number, is the one where they mix all of like the game of the year contenders into one kind of ballad. I think that was really cool. Other than that, they don't need the other musical numbers.
I'm sending him the link. I think he said he was interested. I'll send him the link if you want to jump in, bro. Here's the link. But yeah, it was. I'm assuming he wants to put his own thoughts on it, give his own 2 cents on the actual awards show. Let's see what else everyone else was saying in the chat. Let's see. Little Squirt, don't vape, just Jewel. What? Or was it lol? I'm not sure.
Jewel is. I don't even.
I think I've heard of that. Yeah, this is not something I'm really into at all. So. The what?
I think they mentioned that in one of the truth commercials. Those are the vape commercials are made.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. That's alright. Oh. Yo,
guys, what's up?
Sup, bro? How's it going?
Really good, man. Really good.
Cool.
Thank you for letting me come on.
Yeah, of course. Guys, this is Koloko, by the way. I will at some point add you know what? Let me add it now. But this is Koloko from Nintendo Game Talk. You guys should check him out. But you know, I figured you wanted to give us your 2 cents on the Game Awards then, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was looking through your reactions. I was curious to see how you thought. I was curious to see how you thought about I saw you got hyped for the Joker, which you're gonna talk about now. I'm not gonna mess that up, but
yeah,
you didn't get hyped for the Ultimate Alliance. I was like, none of you guys, both of you guys were like, yeah, it's pretty good, and I'm over here like about to have a heart attack, man. Like,
yeah,
because to me, it's like, it's okay. Like, I am a Marvel fan, a comic book fan, but also that's a ballsy move from Nintendo, man. That's like, you know what I mean? That's such a great thing that they did. Just go out and get it's a huge property, man. Especially like if they release that like right before like Infinity War Part 2. Like, that's such a big deal.
Depending on the timing of that, that's a really interesting point. Yeah, that could be a really big deal. And I do know some people are hyped up about it. I guess for me, I was never that into the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games growing up, so you know, for me, it just kind of felt like, okay, this is okay. I played. There was one that came out on the Wii, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so.
I remember playing that one on the Wii. Maybe I didn't like it because of the motion controls. But you know, like I said earlier, I like Marvel, but I didn't grow up reading the Marvel comics. I just got into it with the movies. Right, so I'm probably not as big of a Marvel fan as you are, but I mean, I still think it's a good announcement. And with that point you just brought up about they could probably release it close to the Avengers movie, like that's a huge steal for Nintendo, and it being exclusive, yeah, definitely is a big deal for sure.
Yeah. That's why I got so hyped, because it's that plus it's just a cool, it's just another cool RPG multiplayer that you could play online. You know, with your friends or whatever. So,
absolutely, yeah. That's it. Well, you know, I'll see how the game turns out. You know, I'm not gonna. Right. I don't want to like completely write it off or anything like that. you know, I've never been that into the series, but we'll see how things turn out. It could be pretty cool. So are we ready to sort of? Is there anything else you want to say about the Game Awards before we jump into the Joker stuff, though, Koloko?
No, just that was a hype announcement. It was too long. Like I agree with everything you guys said. It's too long. You know, I don't agree with them not. One thing will say, I don't agree with them not presenting awards like Best RPG of the Year, because that takes role-playing game takes so much hard work for those developers. And yeah, they get the award, but it's, you know, they should be able to stand up on stage and receive that, because that's a big deal. You know, Best RPG of the Year.
Well, they did an RPG like in the preview part.
It was weird. It was like they didn't. It was like kind of like a throwaway thing.
They did
I guess RPGs are here.
Yeah, they did the same thing last year. They started to do the same thing last year with the Best RPG of the Year.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
neither.
The Game Awards has always been oddly biased against RPGs, and it's really annoying.
It's very
RPG's never gonna win Game of the Year.
It's very westernized. You know, I've noticed, like, I love Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Love it. Love it to death. One of my favorite RPGs. Not the Game Awards. I think we can touch on that a little bit, actually. But the reason I'm bringing it up, though, is because it's very anime-ish, right? I also like anime, so maybe that's why I'm okay with it. But there's a lot of people right off Xenoblade Chronicles 2 who's like, oh, it's just a whole bunch of anime girls and boobs and it's just trash. And I'm just like, it's an amazing game. Like, it's a really, really good RPG with a very enthralling story. Once you get a handle on the mechanics, it's very deep and satisfying, and there's a lot to explore. And I feel like the game has gotten the shaft because a lot of people on the Western side of things don't pay mind to a lot of anime or very Japanesey sort of styles. And I guess we kind of see that from the Game Awards. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 wasn't even nominated. And I mean, it was technically eligible, and I think part of it's recency bias. I think the other part of it is the fact that it just got the shit. Like, we even got the Torn of the Golden Country DLC, right? And that also reviewed pretty well. And that, even with that, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 got 0 mention at the Game Awards. To me, that's just, that's not agreeable to me. And then what makes things worse is that the game that won the RPG award arguably is not even an RPG. Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played that game, but that's not an RPG.
I hear that I've played the Monster Hunter series. I didn't play Monster Hunter World. And this is not about the game not being good. I think the game is great from what I've seen. I love Monster Hunter as a series. But Monster Hunter, it's very light on the RPG stuff. It's more about killing monsters. You scavenge their carcass, you get materials, and you can build that into armor and weapons. But there isn't like I'm going to level up my character sort of thing, right? You're not creating like this. There's not like this big story. You're not like playing a role aside from being a monster hunter, and you're hunting monsters. So it's not really. The RPG aspect is very light. You know, it's kind of like a blurred line situation, I think.
Right.
I think you're right. I think it's a little biased, man. The whole show, I mean, I'd hate to sound cynical, but it sounds like the whole show is a little bit biased towards like Western large third-party games, you know, or like just large Western games. You know,
it seems like the Game Awards wants it to be just like the Emmys and stuff, and they always say with those award shows that it's all political. I think the Game Awards is succeeding in being political just like those shows. Like, if the Game Awards wants to be just like them, they're doing it, right? Like, because it seems like a lot of the awards are more about, like, okay, it's time to give these guys it because it's their time to do this, you know? Like, they'll still have, like, their little narrative stories, like, oh, look, the Celeste, the indie game of the year. Like, it still deserves something, right? I'm not trying to say that the games that got awards aren't good, because they are. They're fantastic. I feel like there is bias, and there are other games that aren't getting as much of a mention, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is a high-profile game. It's not even like it's a low-key, in my opinion. I mean, maybe it's a little bit more niche than, say, Red Dead Redemption or God of War, for sure, but I think it deserves mention. It didn't even get mentioned. I felt that was wrong.
Yeah, it should have been at least in the soundtracks. You know, like or
Yeah.
It got no. That's the thing. There's several things it could have done. It could maybe story, maybe soundtrack, maybe RPG. None of them. Nothing. And we're not even talking about it winning. We're just talking about getting a nomination. You know,
Right.
no nomination.
You know something that surprised me? Spider-Man didn't win any awards, despite being
It did surprise me.
arguably one of the biggest biggest game of the year.
It
Didn't
didn't
win
surprise
one?
me.
Not even
award?
one.
Whoa.
Nothing.
Okay.
That was one of the biggest titles. That's one of the most. It's been one of the most anticipated games. In fact, it's been nominated for most anticipated game during E3 for several years, and it didn't win anything. And that game like blew off sales on that game.
It's not. So let me explain why I didn't think it was gonna get win any major awards, right? Not like best game of the year, best direction, things like that. Basically the things that God of War and Red Dead Redemption won. It's basically because while that game is really good and it's kind of on that same tier of quality as God of War and Red Dead Redemption, in terms of critical acclaim, it's a little under those, right? And because of that, it was nominated for all the same awards, right? But just like Horizon Zero Dawn last year, there was a game that was a little bit high on a higher level in terms of critical acclaim. So Horizon Zero Dawn, while it was good, it got one-upped by Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild last year. And this year, Spider-Man, while it was really, really good, it got one-upped by Red Dead Redemption and God of War in terms of critical acclaim. I understand a lot of people love it. I'm just kind of saying that, like, review-wise and in terms of the journalists and the media, those games are a little bit higher up. So they won the awards while PS4 just got while Spider-Man just got the nomination. That's my perspective on it, at least.
But
yeah,
I was surprised that
at least that
Red Dead, some of the awards that Red Dead won were surprising. Like I think it got like best music, which was weird.
Actually, I see Mark Jacobs and Cyndaquil kind of agreeing with you there. They brought it up earlier too. Yeah, it's I don't know. I haven't played Red Dead Redemption yet, so I'm not gonna say too much on it. But I do feel like
but I can tell you it's not better than the Octopath Traveler's soundtrack.
No, yeah, that game soundtrack is glorious.
It's so magnificent, man. There's no way. I have not played it, and I can guarantee you that there's no way that. Come at me, bro. Come at me.
For real.
And like I think it just kind of goes to the point that, you know, a lot of this is largely political. It's not necessarily saying which game truly is the best. At the same time, though, I don't want to take away everything from it. I think there's some credibility to what they're saying, because the games that they are talking about are great games, right? Like Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year last year. I think that was the right choice. Like, technically, Super Mario Odyssey had better reviews overall, slightly, right? But Breath of the Wild, I think, was a bigger deal because it represented a lot for the industry, a big shift in terms of what we should expect from open world games. And I feel like Breath of the Wild deserved to get Game of the Year last year, right? I think that was fair. But at the same time, you know, there are a lot of games that probably deserve more mention. Like Horizon Zero Dawn was a very good game for Sony fans,
Very good.
And it didn't win any awards last year, right? Not everyone can win. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they have don't they have like one for like visual design? I feel like if they don't have an award for visual design, they should have an award for visual design.
Yeah, I
feel like Horizon Zero Dawn could have won that last year.
Yeah, I think you're right. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Zelda. I think as far as visuals go, Horizon Zero Dawn is over Zelda. That's the only thing I could say that might be over Zelda.
Hey, Koloko.
Those two.
Savage is asking to raise your volume a little bit. Don't touch anything. I'm gonna raise your volume up here. From the hangout. Okay, you actually sound a little. I'm gonna not raise it that much.
What about now? Maybe it's because it wasn't close enough to this microphone. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. I was able to hear you fine the entire time. But I just saw in the chat. Yeah. So if anyone has any complaints about the audio, just let me know. We'll try and fix it. But yeah. Do you guys have anything else to say about the Game Awards? Like, you know. It is what it is, guys. We get a whole bunch of premieres for games that we 5 years ago we didn't really get at the end of the year. Now we do, so we get kind of like a little mini E3 at the end of the year now. So for that, I love it. But I also don't put too much stock in the awards. I mean, it is what it is. It's just, it's kind of more like a marketing campaign rather than a legitimate, like, very objective award system to games that deserve it.
Yeah, but I'd say that marketing campaign, that the marketing aspect is, I think it's kind of important. The more attention that the awards get, the more that award means. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more you could spout saying, hey, we had game of the year last year. This is the sequel to the game that got game of the year in this year. You know, like, the more people pay attention to that stuff, the more you could use it as marketing.
Right, and that's true. They're giving attention to certain games and not giving attention to other games. Like, I'll say it again, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 deserves more attention, and it's not getting it. Meanwhile, all these other RPGs that, to me, aren't as good, they're still good, and they deserve attention too. But, you know, there are some games that deserve attention as well. So I see what you're saying there. That makes sense. Like, the bigger it is, like, they have power. They are helping out certain games and not helping out others by talking about some and not others. So it's interesting. So maybe they can become more open about it. I mean, I think the Game Awards should be in January. It should be in January, but there's a reason they have it in December. Because they make more money that way. That's what it is. They get the game.
Why is that?
Because money. That's why.
I mean, like, why do they make more money?
Oh, why do they make more money? Well, because they're selling games earlier around holiday time when games are making money, as opposed to January, where.
So you think like, advertisers would be willing to pay more money?
Yeah,
to get their game off in December.
Games sell way better in December than they do in January.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because the thing is, think about it. Wouldn't it be more fair to have the Game Awards in January?
Oh, yeah.
After the year? So we can... It's like, for example, Smash is not even eligible. Smash might be like... Smash is arguably Game of the Year. You know what I mean? Like, it's at least in that conversation, right? And it's completely excluded. But December 7th...
What do you think it could win next year for sure? Like, hey, a Game of the Year? I don't know, man.
Nope.
That's tough.
Best fighting game. That's it.
Best fighting game. Best soundtrack.
Maybe best family game.
Yeah. Best soundtrack for sure. It's got like 900 songs.
It has to win best soundtrack. There's nothing that you compare it to. Unless they use well, you can only compare the original score written from it and not the stuff that's added. You know what I mean?
But almost everything there's remixed. There's so many remixes. It's like Sunday night. I spent like, not Sunday. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Me and my friend came over and we spent like 2 hours just talking, like just trying to put together a little playlist. And we were in a rush. Like, if we wanted to, we could have spent the whole day just like looking through all the music in the game. Like, and we haven't even unlocked all the songs, right? You still unlock more music as you play the game, and it's huge. It's huge lineup of just incredible music, and a lot of it's new. Like, there are a whole bunch of remixes added to it. It's obscene, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where, like, they're not gonna even give it the award. They're just gonna be like, oh, it's just Smash. It has music in it from all sorts of stuff. They're not gonna be like, oh, this is not like you said, Koloko. They'll be just like, oh, it's just not from, it's not an original score, quote unquote. Even though Smash Bros has a whole bunch of new music in it, remixes and stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not taken. It's also December 7th it came out, right? By the time the Game Awards happen, it's gonna be literally a year later. I fear that recency bias is gonna give it the snub. It may still be nominated because of how big Smash Brothers is. Like, for sure it's going to be nominated, actually, because it's just that big of a series. But I don't think it's going to get the attention it deserves.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, if they release a DLC, like, pack right before then, it'll get, like, one that has a lot, like something like Joker, or like something else that's, like, has as much hype. Maybe that'll, kind of help it.
Maybe. I do think the DLC is going to help it stay relevant throughout the year. Like, we're going to be talking about Smash Bros. All year, right, because of the DLC.
You know what'd be funny is if they announced the final Smash DLC character at the next Game Awards, because they did say they were going to be releasing up to, like, February 2020.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility we
Yep.
may not know what the final DLC character is by next Game Awards.
I don't think we
Oh,
will. I don't
yeah.
think we will until the next Game Awards. Yeah.
Right?
No.
That'd be amazing.
That I would say it's fairly likely. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So it's gonna stay relatively relevant, but I mean, I'm just saying, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 with the Tornado at Golden Country, I thought that would maybe for sure keep it relevant, and it
Right.
didn't. But at the same time, it could have just been the Western bias, right? More so than Xenoblade Chronicles 2 being relevant. And Smash Brothers is such a huge game. It's going to be at the Game Awards. I just don't think it's going to win like Game of the Year or anything like that. I think Game of the Year is going to go to hopefully Metroid Prime 4 because it's going to come out in October.
But if not, what's the more likely game? Like, what big game is coming out next year that we know of?
I don't know. Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, we don't know that.
We don't know that. No, we don't. I'm not.
I mean, like on any system.
I don't know. I don't know that much about the next games that are coming out. Is there any talk of like a Bloodborne 2 maybe coming soon, or is that we don't even have a date for that? Or
Crackdown 3's coming out next year.
Crackdown 3's not gonna win Game of the Year.
No, yeah. Yeah, I can't think of any Game of the Year contenders for next year because all I'm thinking is like Luigi's Mansion, no. Animal Crossing, no. Might be my Game of the Year if Metroid doesn't come out, but no. Fire Emblem, no.
I'm telling you, Metroid Prime 4, if they get it out by October, it could be a Game of the Year candidate.
You know what else never gets
But it's
nominated
not
for
even
anything?
confirmed for 2019. We just got disappointed. I do want to say we don't know when it's coming out. But
Pokemon never gets nominated for anything, does it? I don't think I've ever seen a.
it might also
Pokemon
come
game
out
get
too late in the
nominated.
year. It comes out like a little bit just too late. Like it comes out
Yeah.
mid-November, which apparently is too late. Which makes zero sense if you think about it, because mid-November is right before Black Friday, the ideal time to release a game to get the peak amount of sales. So that's kind of why I think the Game Awards is busted. Like it's not. There's the November. The mid-November to December time slot. There's a lot of big games come out during that time, and they don't count. Like that makes no sense. It doesn't. It just I think it's dumb.
Yeah, it's returned.
And I wish I knew more about the other systems because there probably is some other pretty cool games coming out that could be
There's
Game of the Year candidates.
Some people in the chat are putting some Shin Megami Tensei 5, Cyberpunk 2077. Is Shin Megami confirmed for next year? I don't know if it is. Dying Light 2, that's not gonna win Game of the Year. Cyberpunk 2077 might.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, that might be it.
Okay.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Let's see. A Little Squirt saying, I heard that Smash won't be eligible for next year's Game Awards because of when it came out, and apparently because of the specific dates games have to be eligible for. Actually, no, Smash Ultimate would be eligible.
Yeah.
It would be, yeah.
Eligible for next year, but not.
Right. If it wasn't eligible for this year, and by extension that means it's eligible for next year. So it will be eligible, but we'll see how things turn.
Every game is able to be eligible eventually, whether it'll get in or not.
Smash actually, you know what, Koloko? Smash could be a Game of the Year candidate, especially because it is such a big game, and the DLC will keep it relevant. And just like how Breath of the Wild last year was part of the Game Awards, the Game of the Year nominations, it got the DLC announced and released that day. We could even see that again. Like maybe there'll be a Smash DLC character that comes out the day of the Game Awards next year. That makes prediction. Now I'm adding to your prediction, Brandon. Not only are we going to see a Smash DLC character announced at next year's Game Awards, it's going to come out the day of the Game Awards.
I don't think so.
Well,
just because they kind of said up till February, so I'm thinking maybe a little closer to February.
Well, who's to say that will be the final character?
It's true. It could be like the fourth one.
Yeah, when is Joker releasing? Do we know?
We don't know. I imagine after Piranha Plant.
We didn't even see gameplay for that.
No,
so.
we don't have gameplay for it, right? I imagine Piranha Plant is Piranha Plant comes out in February, and we know that supposedly that we're supposed to have all the Fire Pass characters by February 2020. So we got 6 characters coming out between February 2019 and February 2020. So if they come out every 2 months, that kind of fits, right?
Yeah.
Look, I guess we'll see how it all turns out. But let's transition to just about Joker and the relevance of that, because I think it's a big deal. So, what were your initial reactions for seeing Joker from Persona 5 announced as the first challenger in the Smash DLC?
My initial reactions were, wait, this isn't a Persona 6 announcement? Or a Persona 5 coming to Switch announcement? Because that's what I totally thought it was. I was like, oh, this is not a Persona game announcement. This is Smash, which was immediately just like, oh, that's awesome. Because I was worried that we weren't going to get anything for Smash. Because we kept seeing Smash commercials. It's just like, Smash coming out soon. It's like, okay, I know.
Yeah, I didn't
and they
think...
were like,
no,
and we got the announcement, and I was just like, oh, yes, finally. And I definitely think it's an interesting character, one that I wouldn't have thought Nintendo would have picked, to be honest, for it. So I think Reggie a few weeks ago, and again after the Game Awards, was kind of like, yeah, the DLC is gonna be unexpected characters. It's gonna be kind of more out there characters, which is cool.
Yeah, I just realized now that my audio is louder than yours. It may have been why you sounded quieter earlier, Koloko. So I'm going to raise the audio for you guys a bit. Can one of you guys say something?
Something.
Hello.
Okay, something. Something. Alright, I'm going to lower you guys just a little bit. Just a little bit. Say something one more time.
Something one more time.
Something one more time. Alright, we're good. Cool. Yeah, but Koloko, how do you feel about Joker?
Well, I've never played a Persona game.
Neither have I.
Hey.
Neither have I. So you're not alone here.
So when I saw that, I was confused. I was like, what's going on? But I know the look. So I had to look at my reaction again, because I'm like, did I even realize what I was watching? I did. I was like, oh, it's Persona. Like I recognized, the character, And when I saw that it was Smash, I'm like, that's awesome. Like, that's just... Because at first, I get those two series confused. Shin Megami Tensei or whatever. So I'm thinking, like, it's one of those characters. So to me, I'm like, oh, yeah, it makes sense. Like, but now obviously, after I watched it, I'm like, wait a minute. That's a... Persona 5 is for the... It's an exclusive to the PS4. So I'm like, that really is, like, out of left field. Nobody knew that was coming.
No, and I made a video about it, just kind of talking about it earlier today. But basically, yeah, every single leaker for Smash Bros. DLC, like, if you didn't already disbelieve them, now they're all trash. Like, you got nothing, guys. You got nothing. We don't know what's coming, and that is it.
No one said anything about the Marvel game either. No one.
Yeah,
I don't remember hearing about that. I remember hearing about Mortal Kombat going into the Game Awards.
Yeah, but I think we had some actual, like, I think the developers were talking about how they were going to announce something there. So.
Right. And then there was a Crash Team Racing. Was that a rumor for Crash? Because we got that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's like a rumor or like speculation based off of evidence.
Yeah.
Like.
I want to talk about something, actually. So, I've seen, because of the whole Metroid Prime 4 disappointment on Twitter and stuff, I've seen a lot of people come out and say, oh, it's stupid to pay attention to rumors and leaks, and you're an idiot if you ever took any of that seriously. And, like, some big people, right? People that are a lot bigger than me, and I don't agree with that at all. Like, sure, yeah, we should take everything with a grain of salt, but rumors and speculation are kind of really fun. Like, I think that's really cool. So it's kind of a big part of my channel is speculating, kind of theorizing what's going to come next. But, like, the thing is, like, sure, things can be wrong, but it doesn't mean they're not worth watching. And sometimes leaks come true, right? Like, Crash Team Racing, that's one right there, right? And I've brought it up several times that both Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Pokemon Let's Go were leaked. We didn't know, we knew about them before they were announced. So, I'm of the free. I want to put my 2 cents in. I feel like anyone who's saying that is just wrong or boring. Like, you don't like speculating about future games. You don't like looking into rumors. Like, yes, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, but that's just kind of
I agree with that. Like, what I have a problem, like what I have a problem with is people that pretend that they know stuff. Like they say either they say that they have insider information or whatever, or secret sauces or whatever, and then they act really like vague about it, and they post like a little picture or something, and it's like, and then you see people like, you know something, don't you? It's like, no, they don't, because obviously there was no Metroid Prime, nothing like that was it. And it's even I thought that it was coming, and it's fun to speculate that, and it was exciting to think that was coming, but to sit here and say like, guys, I've heard stuff, like, I'm not gonna say anything, but just pay attention because it has to do something with Metroid. Stuff like that is what gets me, like, it just pisses me off, because it's like they're building up for no reason when it's obvious lies, or the people that that's telling them stuff, maybe they're not as reliable, and and they might know that.
Here's the thing. I think it's kind of like a mixed bag. So I agree there are some people out there that are just straight up lying, because let's face it, when you're talking about having, inside sources, what does that do? It gets you clicks, it gets you information, it gets you attention, right? So of course there are people out there who fabricate that, right? But I also think, I know that there are people out there who do have legitimate sources, right? But even when those people have legitimate sources, they're not always right. Because, one, sometimes those sources, maybe they also want attention, and maybe they get some things right, but they want to also try and get other things right. But also, sometimes those sources are fed false information. That's kind of the way how companies combat, leaks. They're trying to find out, who's leaking our information. So they put out false stories, and they try to see where those false stories come from to get them.
Right. There's also the people who have late information, so they're not kept up to date constantly. So sometimes they'll have plans, and the plans will change, and then, well, your information wasn't wrong, it's just outdated.
Right, like, for example, when Eurogamer reported about Pokemon Stars, it wasn't that Pokemon Stars was a fake report. That was just not about what Pokemon planned on making, but it was related to what they were using to work on their next Pokemon games. So, it's kind of, it's a little bit more layered, I think, right? Because sometimes it is just fake shit, and there's a lot of just fake leaks everywhere, right? But also some of it are sources that are fed false information. Sometimes they have real information, sometimes they have false information, so then you don't really know what to trust anymore, right? And then sometimes, even if it is based on real information, trustworthy information, because it's about something that hasn't been announced yet, the company's still thinking about how they're going to want to handle it, there's still development changes, things change, plans change, so whatever it was at one point could be something else in the future. So all of these different things, you never really know what to expect from a rumor, so regardless of how trustworthy a source may be, until it's officially announced and confirmed, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Because even if these sources about Metroid were real, it could have just been that they pulled it last minute or something else. Like, and
yeah, and it's true. There's a lot of variables in play there. But one thing I will say is, when you see the same thing from the same person each time and time again, and it doesn't change, that's the kind of people I'm talking about. Like, and there are a few out there.
Right? No, there is.
The repeat offenders is what I'm referring to. Not like there are there's one guy that I think you know him, Shifty.
Yeah, I know him.
Like,
he got piranha
that guy has legit. I don't know who he knows, man, but he knows somebody.
But he's also very careful about it. He's very careful about it. Like he's very apologetic about it. Even like when he talks about his sources, like. He's like, hey, look, like, he told me he heard things. I mean, he said it publicly. Like, he heard things about Geno. He heard things, but that doesn't necessarily. He was like, hey, but don't take that for anything, because I don't know. Like, this is still really early. Like, we don't really know for sure, right? But because hearing things about Geno doesn't really mean anything, right? Like, there are a whole bunch of names coming out, but he's very careful to say that. He wasn't be like, oh yeah, for sure, Geno, or anything like that, right? So, I like, yeah, there are people out there who have sources that are very careful, and they try to be as forthcoming as they can without, obviously betraying any trust they have with who's giving them the information, and being fair. But, for the rumor leaker sort of thing, like, you get hits off that, so people are pressured to lie and come up with narratives to get more attention.
Right. The thing that annoys me, and a lot of people I saw on Twitter did this, is that like they would be like, "Oh, guys, you have to pay attention to the Game Awards because you know there's gonna be something Metroid there," and then you know, of course, nothing.
Yeah,
Metroid
there
at
was.
the Game Awards.
There was. It was
Got
Reggie's shirt.
shirt.
It was
Right.
Reggie's shirt. That's
But
what it
then-
was.
Afterwards, they'll be like, "Oh, I was just speculating, guys. Why are you so angry at me because I got it wrong?" It's like I was just speculating. It's like you weren't speculating. You told
Not
us
just
that you
speculating.
knew something was gonna be there. You didn't say, "Oh, guys, you know, I wonder if Metroid's gonna show up at the Game Awards. That'd be cool." You're like, "Guys, you have to check out the Game Awards because I know Metroid's gonna be." Like, no, you didn't know, and you weren't just speculating.
But I'll tell you this, like, you know, I kind of feel a little bad because I was really confident about Metroid being at the Game Awards. Like, I was super, super confident.
Oh, me too.
Like, I was willing to bet money.
Same.
I would have bet money.
I think you offered to bet money. In fact.
Yeah, I would have
But I
lost.
think Nintendo knows that. Nintendo knows what we're thinking. Like in the sense that they know what people are talking about. They know what people are making videos about. What social media, what they're saying. So it's like they intentionally trolled us, dude. That shirt with the Ridley shirt. I'm telling you, the first time he went on stage, he had his jacket like this, where you could barely see it. And the next time he had his jacket full open so you could see Ridley. Like, it was such a massive troll, man.
So you
And then,
agree
like,
that it was intentional, right?
yeah, and then a few weeks ago, he was at he was somewhere where they took a picture of him. It was just like
With
2 or
Jeff
3 weeks
Keighley,
ago.
right? Or no, you
Yeah.
mean another picture.
Another picture, like a few weeks ago, and he had a Metroid shirt on. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, what does that mean?" You know?
Right. No, yeah, it's the thing. Like, I thought he was intentionally teasing it the whole time. Especially after the controversy from the Cranky Kong thing a few years ago, where they got a lot of flack for that. I thought they were very super aware of like, you know, showing off Metroid stuff related to the Game Awards. And yet, every time we saw Reggie related to the Game Awards in a picture with Jeff Keighley, he was wearing Metroid something.
Yeah.
Every time. It wasn't just once. It was every time.
That's intent. What that did was make the stuff that they did show even more of a surprise. That's what it did. That's what they
all smoke
intentionally
and
did.
mirrors.
That's what it is. Exactly what it is.
But also,
and
it
love
also
that.
makes us
I love
hungrier
them
for
that.
Metroid, though. Again, it creates controversy about
Yeah.
Metroid. So do you think they're that forward-thinking, that strategic about it, that they intentionally create this controversy about a lack of information to drill up more hype and get us talking more about Metroid, so then when they do show it off, it's like this really big thing? Or is that just kind of... Okay.
I think for sure. That's all planned, man.
So, you know, because I'm all about the Metroid, right? I always bring it up. Like, do you think that they're still building things? Because before this Game Awards thing, I was definitely feeling like they were building everything up for a big holiday Metroid Prime 4 2019 release, right? Like, think about it. They had well, go back to 2017. We had obviously the announcement, right? We had Metroid Samus Returns. The year before that, we had Federation Force. But in 2017, we had Ridley and Zero Suit Samus showed off at the end of E3. Even though it was for Smash Bros., they showed that off, right? And then I was thinking that they were going to drill up even more hype by having a Metroid Prime 4 reveal at the Game Awards this year. Obviously, that didn't happen. But they did tease it. They teased it, right? And even Reggie was in an interview talking about Metroid recently, saying that it's well into development. So it almost seems like that they're still kind of like teasing it, talking about building up to it. Do you think that this is all to build it up, maybe have a teaser sometime early 2019, kind of the same way they did it for Smash Brothers, right? They had a little teaser with the Inklings, right? And then we get a blowout at E3, and then maybe it comes that holiday. Like, is that still in the cards? Does that kind of fit this theoretical hype cycle that we think Nintendo's creating for it?
That's exactly what I think is going to happen. I was gonna say that. I think that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna show a teaser off, mid-spring, maybe in the January direct that we think is gonna happen. But I think they'll wait a little bit longer. I'm just gonna assume it's not gonna happen until E3. Yeah. I think they might show something.
I think they might, but I don't want. I got so excited about the Game Awards that I'm gonna keep my expectations in check. Like, I'm like, if it happens, cool. It might happen, but I'm just I'll be disappointed if it's not at E3, but I won't be disappointed if it doesn't come up until E3. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think I want to predict that there isn't going to be a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, though. I think that's not going to happen.
That goes back to my gut
that's going to
reaction.
happen, or Metroid Prime 4 is coming out 2020.
It's weird. It's cutting it close. Yeah.
I agree, kind of. I don't know if a trilogy's HD remaster is coming. That seems like just a lot of work for something that I don't think they'll get the same return on. I mean, the trilogy was on Wii U or Wii for $20 and it still didn't sell that well. So you know what I mean? Like even with the hype, even with the Switch, I understand, but I don't know if the return is going to, the investment's going to be. That's a huge undertaking, man. It make all that HD, all those 3 big games into HD. I don't know.
It would make more sense to just do one. Do Metroid Prime and maybe have some sort of... You know how, like, Mass Effect, when it came onto the Wii U, they had something to sort of, like, fill you in on the story? Maybe they could have the Metroid Prime, just Metroid Prime, the original, be it HD remade, and just, you know, come up with something to kind of sum people up on what happens between Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, I'd like that. Just the originals, to be honest, is the best game out of this. To me, in my opinion, it's the best one out of the 3.
It is.
So I would say if you're gonna do that, I would say if the 2 choices are not having HD and just having the one game HD, yeah, just do the first one. I think that'll be better. But to the point of what you said earlier, releasing Metroid Prime 4 in like late December or like December, like Smash, and then Pokemon in like November, the same way they did this year. Like they could do that, and I feel like they don't need to even talk about it to, like you said, E3, because they have so many games lined up for next year that we're not going to even worry about it. Like we're not. No, as Nintendo fans, we already have so much we're on our plate that we're not even going to be thinking about it. By the time you know it, we're like, oh, it's E3 and it's got announced.
Yeah, one little thing I want to add to that, or just kind of add. December makes sense, but I think October also makes sense. Like if Metroid Prime 4 comes out this year, it's either an October game or a December game.
That makes sense.
I think Smash Ultimate came out in December because they had no choice but to get it out in December. I think ideally they wanted it to come out in October.
Yeah, I think Reggie actually said that the only thing he regrets about Smash is that it came out late. He said he wanted to get it earlier in the year.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Why is early December release a bad thing? Because look, it just broke.
You missed Black Friday.
Oh, you're right. But you had Pokemon for Black Friday.
Right. Well, it's better to have it before, I think. But if you can get, it's not the end of the world, right? It's still, they get out for December, but I think ideally you get it out earlier.
What is it going to sell? Like 7 million? They're saying maybe 7 million copies, like in the first week.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, yeah, let's move on to Smash. I think we're ready to move on to Smash. But Brandon, you wanted to go over the sales numbers, right? This is a good time to sort of segue into that.
Yeah, why not? So yeah, in the UK, it has sold the best. It's the fastest selling Nintendo Switch game ever. You know, faster than Pokemon and Zelda, and I think Mario Odyssey was the previous, or Pokemon was faster than any of those. And it is the fastest selling Smash game in general in the UK. It's even over the Wii one. It's like 300% better than the Wii U one, like 250% better than 3DS one, like 60% faster than even the Wii one, which had a bigger install base at the time. So it's doing really well in the UK, and then in Japan, it in the first 3 days it already sold 1.3 million copies. So it's doing good.
Yeah, that's impressive.
The Japan numbers are according to Famitsu, by the way.
And that's all physical, not including digital.
Yeah, it doesn't include anything digital.
That's awesome.
And digital sales of the Switch have been rising as of
I mean, I got Smash digitally. It's more convenient.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is why I went for convenience. Because, you know, I had between the Game Awards and stuff, it was just easier for me to just have it there on my system ready to go, as opposed to having to go to the GameStop, wait in line, like in the cold. It was like 20 degrees. It was cold. So I'm okay with my decision.
I would have definitely went digitally if I didn't save a lot of money going physically.
I think it really speaks, like the sales. I think it really speaks to Nintendo's marketing strategy. Now, it kind of feel like this goes hand in hand with what we were talking about earlier about how there could theoretically be hyping up Metroid, right? Like, for whatever reason, it just seems like Nintendo is just way smarter about marketing now. Like, they don't necessarily spend that much money in like commercials. They have been doing a much better job of it now than they used to. But it's almost more like what they do on the internet, right? Like, remember the whole Chibi Robo thing, where they didn't talk about a January Direct, and we were just kind of like, oh, will there even be one? We were going crazy. And then they just posted Chibi Robo picture, like a flaming Chibi Robo picture the day before, and then they just drop it, the Direct, without announcing it. It was a mini Direct, right? But they just dropped it like the day after. And they're like, yep, there was one coming, but we wanted to leave you guys sort of wondering, like. They do that. I
think ever since the Switch, when they said we're combining our mobile, our handheld, and our home consoles units together, I think that's when Nintendo completely changed, man. And that's when they said, okay, from now on, we're gonna make sure that we have everything on the Switch, and at least what I'm saying is consistent content on the Switch. That's what that consistency is. I feel like that's their main goal is momentum and consistency with the content on it, and it's shown. I mean, we've never had a moment except maybe like what was like right after Breath of the Wild, like right before Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was kind of a lull, like, but I mean, you gotta expect that. It's like brand new console, like. Besides then, I can't think of another time when I've had like a moment where I'm like, I don't have anything to play on the Switch. Right. There's always something new.
Yeah, but I mean, even at the beginning, like, it was a new system. It has, like, even the Wii U, right? Remember the Wii U? Like, that even though its lineup was trash. Actually, the lineup wasn't that bad. It just didn't have like a marquee title. It just had a whole bunch of like B titles. It didn't have that AAA.
Fun fact of the Wii, real quick. Fun fact of the Wii U: it had the most launch titles of any console ever made.
Yeah.
Ever.
Interesting.
It had a lot.
Interesting. But I think it goes to show you, though, it's not necessarily about the quantity at the start. It's more about they needed those key releases in 2017 for the Switch to really, sell it, right? Zelda and Mario and Splatoon and Mario Kart, they needed those, right? The Wii U didn't have any of that in its first year, and I think that makes a big difference. But that on top of the consistent releases, I think that's really maintained it. Because even though the Wii U started strong in a way, it didn't. If it had kept that up, it would have been interesting to see how it would have turned out if the Wii U somehow had consistent content. Even if it didn't have the big marquee titles in the beginning, if it had consistent content, I don't know where we might not even have a Switch yet, right? But I'm glad we have a Switch now, though. So, but yeah, I do basically have the feeling that it's more than a feeling. It's more than just a suspicion. It's pretty much confirmation. But Nintendo's really way smarter about how they advertise now. It's not just the commercials. It's not just the entire what the Switch is. I mean, because the Switch is portable, that's a marketing in and of itself, right? Whenever someone sees someone carrying a Switch around, and the whole word of mouth thing, but the way they kind of carry themselves on the internet, right, with sometimes showing some things off and not showing other things off, and how they kind of leave us wanting more, like that, I think all is really strong now. Like, I think Nintendo might be becoming a better marketing. It's starting to become a situation where Nintendo's becoming better at marketing than Sony, maybe. I mean, that's I think that's a big thing to say, because the reason Sony like was destroyed with the PS1 and destroyed with the PS2, a lot of it was purely marketing.
Right.
So to say that Nintendo is surpassing them, I feel like it's a lot to say, but I think they're starting to really turn things around.
Yeah, I think Nintendo's marketing is better than Sony's, but Sony definitely has more marketing. Like when God of War was coming out, every commercial on YouTube and Twitch, all of them were God of War. I was sick of seeing God of War. I saw it so many times on YouTube and Twitch. Like, there was no way you watched YouTube or Twitch and you didn't know about God of War. Something like Nintendo, well, they have good marketing, and I think their ads are better, and they typically have a better presence, and they don't show off the same damn game for 4 years. Not anymore, at least. They don't have as many ads, unfortunately. Like you'll see I'll see a Nintendo ad, I'm like, oh look, a Nintendo ad. Now I won't see one for like weeks, and I'm like, oh look, a Nintendo ad.
Yeah, they're not as many. So I kind of see what you're saying. So basically, what you're saying is that Sony puts more money in, right? But Nintendo's smarter about the money that they have putting into it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I see that. Yeah. So, you guys, let's kind of check the chat, and then we can kind of talk about our Smash impressions, right? Koloko, I assume you got on Smash and you've been playing it, right? I think I saw you had a stream. I didn't get to watch it, but you were playing Smash with your subscribers, right?
Yeah, I'm playing it right now, actually. I'm playing as I talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we'll move on. Luigi's Mansion 3 delayed. Oh, I hope not. I don't think it will be. Do you guys think?
No,
Luigi's...
yeah. Why would it be delayed?
I mean, I think he's just going for like like a gut thing, like maybe. I mean,
no, that game looked pretty ready, even back when they first showed it off. Like they had concepts and game mechanics, and the graphics look polished, and nah, it keeps getting delayed.
Let me see.
Because technically, that game could come out December 31st, 2019, and not be delayed. So.
Stab64 said Nintendo's kicking ass right now, and next year as well. I think they definitely have some momentum going in for sure. They've been consistent. They've been consistent, as Koloko said, and I think 2019 is gonna have a lot. Is gonna be overall have a stronger lineup than 2018. Haru is saying that PS1 had the marketing. They needed it. It was their first system out there, and they cleaned house. The Sega Saturn was reeling, and the PS1 came out, I believe, in 94. 94, 95, and they...
N64 wasn't out yet?
No, it was not, and they just took it. They took the market by storm. Switch 2 will have momentum. Switch 2 it's going to be interesting to see that, because I see a lot of people starting to make the argument that maybe Xbox is gonna be the strong contender next generation. But I mean, Nintendo is kind of like putting themselves in a very interesting situation. I don't know what's going to happen after the Switch. It's hard to say, but I have a hard time believing that they're not going to do well.
Yeah, I've heard it's probably just going to be a Switch, but more powerful, maybe some more features. But I think
I just think that they have. I just think they have the IPs, man. That's all. It's all about IPs. It's all about brand recognition. And I mean, it's like, yeah, you can buy all these. AAA third-party studios, but what games are they gonna make? Are they gonna make like? I don't know, man. Like I don't see that whole thing where they bought a bunch of studios working out as everybody thinks that it might work out, and as they think it's going to work out. Unless they market it right, unless they make like recognizable IPs that are easy to sell. If it all looks like your typical third-person shooter or first-person Assassin's Creed game, I don't know. Is that better? Is that gonna help them win? I don't think so.
Well, Microsoft's
never been on top.
The 360. Well, okay.
I would say
Wii,
360.
though.
Well, that's the thing. Some people like to ignore the Wii. There are sites out there that talk about the best-selling consoles for that generation, and they just exclude the Wii. Like, they don't consider it a game console, and they say the 360 was number one.
Well, I think that obviously the Wii sold more, but as far as like the consumers actually, using their product, I think the 360 beat everybody else. I think it had the best of everything.
It had the core gamer market, at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But Microsoft is still buying new studios. They keep on buying more and more studios. Like we won't see the fruits of these efforts until like 3 years from now, probably. But they are, they seem that they have a problem with their first party, and they're doing something to fix that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Maybe they'll finally actually have enough studios to start taking advantage of all that rare IP. If Microsoft was good,
that'd be nice.
They have the IP to make me want them. Right? Like, they have the IP.
Just don't want to use them.
Exactly. Like, if they were making Killer Instinct and Perfect Dark and Banjo-Kazooies consistently, and they were good,
GoldenEyes,
I would theoretically buy an Xbox for that, right? So
if they made a new GoldenEye, I'd be hyped. That'd be so good.
Yeah. So, but let's jump into just our impressions on Smash Brothers. So we've all been playing it this weekend, right? How are you guys feeling about this game? I put a poll up, and I was kind of asking everyone how I was basically saying that I kind of feel like this might be the ultimate Smash Brothers. What do you guys think? And the poll, I might make a video on this topic alone later on this week, but it was overwhelming. Like 89% said that yes, this is the ultimate Smash Brothers. And last I checked, there was like maybe 600 votes. Like, it was overwhelming. Like, people think this is like the ultimate Smash Brothers. How do you guys feel about it so far?
I mean, it's like every other Smash Brothers. It's like the best thing from every Smash Brothers and more. So how could it not be the ultimate Smash Brothers? It literally has like almost every stage in the series and then more stages. It has all the characters and more characters. It has almost all the modes and some more modes. So it's like everything, but then enhanced and then added more stuff. So yeah. I mean, if you're going off of just pure like new content, then maybe not. Maybe the Smash Ultimate is probably one of the weaker like brand in terms of just brand new content in the game, but I mean in terms of overall content, it's definitely the ultimate Smash, the best Smash so far for sure.
Yeah, I want to be careful about this because I don't want to mislead anyone. I feel that this is the ultimate Smash Brothers, right? Like, as I'm playing the game, I'm like, wow, this feels so good. It's so quick. It's so colorful. The graphics are great. I love every stage, how it's been remade. It's so cool. I think Classic Mode is the best it's ever been. I'm actually really enjoying Spirits in World of Light. I heard some people say it's repetitive, but I actually am having a lot of fun with it. I feel I can see myself putting hours into that. The online seems to at least be better than Wii U, but that's not saying much. But there is a couple of things that I wish the game had. I wish that it had a target break. I wish there was a home run contest. I feel like that's kind of mysteriously missing. And I also feel like, that they could have added... I do notice that they haven't added too many new stages, but because of all the returning stages and how they're all remade, I don't even care. Like, there's the amount of stages and characters I've seen. And if you're really enjoying, like, picking up, like, unlocking every character, like, randomly... Like, it's just like, oh, a new character. Oh, a new character. Like, I love that. But I also love that they made it like that. Like, I would have hated it if every character was available at the beginning. I loved it that they started with 8. And then we would just kind of unlock every character as we've played. Like, you could have... I think theoretically you can unlock every character in, like, 90 minutes. But I've kind of preferred the way I've done it, where I've just kind of played the game. Right? I've played Classic Mode. I've done Smash, like, fights with friends. I've played online. I've done the mob smash. I've played Spirits and World of Light, and I've just kind of been unlocking characters organically in that way, and that's been a lot of fun for me. So I've probably put in at least 10 hours in the game, maybe even 20, right, or so. And
I've not played that.
I don't know how much hours I've put. I'm just I'm spitballing here, but like, and I still haven't unlocked every character. I still have 5 characters left to unlock, but I put a decent amount of time in the game, and I'm still unlocking those characters just by playing organically. And that's really cool. I'm enjoying it like that. And I just think it's awesome. But Koloko, I know you were dying a few moments ago, but I'm glad you came back to life.
Sorry about that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the best Smash. I really do think. There's things about it, like you said, the target practice. I don't know why that's missing. I was hoping that would that would be in here. The one thing I will say that I don't like is like the spirits that you collect. It's fine that they're not trophies. I'm okay with that. But why did they take away the descriptions to each spirit? Because there's a lot of spirits that we get that I'm like, what is this from? Like, it's
same.
Like, I guess they want you just to use Wikipedia. Like, but like it should be in the game. That's the one thing I will say that if I could change one thing in this game would be that add descriptions in the spirits.
The only thing I can think is it a memory constraint? Like, I feel like it can't, because it's just text. Like, text doesn't take up that much space.
Yeah,
like, yes, it's a lot of text because there's over 1,000 spirits.
It's just a lot of work. Yeah, maybe it's just a lot of work to translate all that.
I talked about it with my friend Brian, and we kind of I feel like we just decided that if you get a team of like 5 to 10 people, you can get that done in a week. It's just text. You're not programming like graphics or playtesting. You're just creating text, right? How hard is it really to come up with with 2 to 3 lines about a character that you can just pretty much steal from a Wikipedia page? Yeah, I don't think it's that hard.
It's not. No, it's not. I don't know why they decided against it.
I could come up with a few hundred on my own in a week. You know what I mean?
I wonder if the Treehouse people are already pretty, because 2019 is going to be huge. There's going to be a lot of games. I wonder if the Treehouse is the people who do all that kind of flavor text stuff. That's a lot of their job is doing flavor text and translations and stuff. I wonder if they're
swamped. They just Maybe that's what it is. They just have so many games coming out that they can't handle the workload, even if it is just like a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of hope that maybe it's one of those things they could add after the fact, right? Like, I kind of expect there are going to be some things that they're going to add to the game now that it's out, just regardless of the DLC.
Yeah, that'd definitely be nice. Cause as you were saying, I was like, who's this? I have no idea. I'm not gonna pause my game, go like on my computer or my phone, and then like search up the character, because there's so many characters. I'm just like, who's this? I'd be literally not playing the game. I'd just be on my phone the whole time.
Yeah. So like my hope is that they eventually maybe add those descriptions and maybe add a home run contest or a target break to the game. I would like to see that. But just like the game itself, it feels like I made a video a week ago before the game came out talking about how I feel like Smash Ultimate is going to be much better than Smash Wii U, because they've done things to make the game compelling to play through, even as a single-player experience. Like, it's not just the World of Light, like, just the way they've handled the character unlocks, like, that gives me reason to play through the game, right? With Smash Wii U, they just kind of like, okay, here's everything, have at it, And I didn't feel like the modes were very compelling, but now, with what they have, I feel like I want to complete it all, right? I want to collect all the spirits, right? I want to do the challenges. I want to get all the characters. I want to unlock all the music. And it's just, I think the way that they've designed the game, it's a better game. It's a better game. Like, I actually want to experience it all, right? And in terms of multiplayer, damn, bro. I had a couple friends come over Saturday night, and for like 3 good hours, I was having so much fun. I haven't had that much fun in a long time. Like, it was just like the good old days. And
did you have a wine and cheese party?
There was alcohol. There was alcohol.
So I remember you said
chocolate Twinkies.
But was there fromage?
Was there fromage?
Caviar.
Maybe next weekend. Maybe next weekend. But yeah, I had a good time. I'm really big on this game, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. I do think that maybe by the end of the year, I'll probably be done, like, going for completion, right? And I'll probably just play it when I have friends around, pretty much, or when I just kind of want to play for a few minutes to, like, entertain myself, right? But but that's fine. That's fine. I'll probably end up putting like 100 or so hours into the game, as just like a campaign, maybe even 200 hours, which is an obscene amount. Okay, I know a lot of you guys are gamers and probably put 200 hours on everything, but that's a lot, right? And then after that, I'll probably just play it whenever I have friends who want to play, or do some fights, and that's gonna be fine with me. But I mean,
that'll be a lot more than I put into the Wii U one, because the Wii U one, literally, I put like maybe 30-40 hours into it over the course of several years. That game was like, I got into it, and then I was like, well, there's nothing to do by myself, so I guess I'll wait till I have friends over. But it was kind of that time in my life where I was like just getting out of school, so there weren't friends to have over. So it was like this weird period where it's just like, okay, I guess I'll play this every couple of weeks, maybe, like every couple of months. So this one, like, I can actually sink my teeth into it as an online that is mostly okay, not great, but if you play with somebody who has good internet, it's fine. As soon as you start playing with somebody with bad internet, it's absolute garbage. But I mean,
I don't know if that's it, man, because like I was playing with people that had like 100 megabyte download speeds, and we were still getting bad slowdown, and all of a sudden it stopped. So I don't know. Maybe it was on Maybe someone was downloading something on then they didn't know about it in their household. Maybe that was it. But
Right.
I feel like it has to do something with the servers or something, the peer-to-peer server they have.
But I just don't get it because Mario Kart works fine. Splatoon 2 works fine, right?
I don't get it, man. And to me, it's like Mario Kart 8 should be more hectic than.
Yeah.
Well, maybe with all the items, but if it's one-on-one battles with no items on Battlefield, you should not be getting any slowdown.
I mean, Splatoon has a lot more. Like, it's stuff's. You can't tell me more is not happening in Splatoon.
The ink is literally changing the map constantly, right?
Yeah.
That's like the textures around the entire map are constantly fluctuating, right? Like that. There's a
Effects
lot.
are going off. People are shooting each other. There's explosions. There's subs. There's specials. There's all kinds on a really big map compared to like what you would see in Smash.
I think it has more to do with what it is. Like I've played, like for example, playing Dragon Ball Fighters. Lag is prevalent in that game too, and I play that on PS4, right? So I don't play that many fighting games online, so maybe I can't speak as like someone who's very experienced in it. But just playing Dragon Ball Fighters, right? I don't know if it's necessarily any worse than that. So like some of my matches, it's good. I can play fine. Other matches, there's a little bit. Other matches, it's really bad. So I think it's just a mixed bag. I think it kind of comes with the territory of being a fighting game online, unfortunately. Another thing to note, though, is that the Nintendo Switch has a bottleneck in terms of how much speed of internet you can use on your system because, one, it's basically just wireless only. You can't really connect an Ethernet cable unless you get a LAN adapter, except here's the thing. The LAN adapter, because it connects to the USBs on the Switch dock, is also a bottleneck. It can only have so much of a transfer speed. So basically, if you have really good Wi-Fi, that's better than what the LAN cable can offer anyway, which is not that fast to begin with. I did an internet test yesterday just to check, and I was surprised at how fast I could get my Switch to go. I think I got like 48 megabytes per second, which is really good compared to previous tests. I've done previous tests, I was in the 30s. And for the record, we have like over 1,000 megabytes per second here at my house. So like we have really fast internet.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I do an internet test, I usually get into 400 to 500s. So it's not like actually 1,000, like, real world.
It never is. Yeah,
right?
they never is. Yeah.
But still, I'm in the 3 to some. I mean, maybe on a bad day it could be in the 300s, right? But it's always really fast, right? Like I've said it many times, but like for example, I download Horizon Zero Dawn, which is like 30 gigabytes in like 2 to 3 minutes. Actually, that was at my old house where we had slower internet than this. So we have even faster internet than that. It's fast. But the point is, the Switch, because it has bottlenecks, the most you can get out of it is like 30 to 40, which is still good enough. You don't need anything faster than that usually for games. It's more than good enough. I think you only need like 10 megabytes per second to like have zero lag playing Fortnite, for example, right? And the Switch can get 3 to 4 times that. But I guess I don't know. It's weird. I'm not an expert on this, but it's weird. I wish there was a way to do better. And not even that, I do feel like the modes online are a little bare bones too, actually.
I haven't tried to do any of the extra modes, so I can't really say. I know that they let you do stage morph online, and they let you do, but I don't think they'll let you do like Smashdown or anything online, do they? No. I guess that would make sense.
Well, I haven't created the arenas yet, so maybe there's more you can do there. Okay.
And I didn't see any option for that. But Smashdown online wouldn't make sense because you're playing with this. Typically, you're supposed to be playing with the same people, but if you do like Smashdown online, you're constantly changing. Like if you're in an arena, you're constantly changing who you're fighting against. It
would be really cool if they could have a feature where you could get your friends, invite them into your game, and then you're all like on a voice chat together, and you're just navigating the normal Smash menu as if they're there. Right. Like how cool would that be if that's
like
what they could do
with like other, like on the Xbox, that's what you do. You have a party and then you're just navigating around. Like when I play Halo Online, I'm voice chatting with them while I'm going through the normal menus.
Right, like in that way you could just play tournament mode that way. You could play classic mode co-op that way. Like that is really enjoyable. Actually, have you guys played co-op mode? Like classic? You can play 2 players in classic mode.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic mode itself is a lot of fun in this game. It's very compact. You know, you don't have to. You know, it's not a. How can I say? It's not like when you look at it and you say you have to do it with every character. You're kind of like, oh my gosh, it's gonna take forever. No, because you could get a classic done in like, what, 6-7 minutes tops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I like how each one has a theme to it, and it's kind of just cool to see that. Like, you look at the theme, what it is, and then you know all the characters you have to fight. I like it.
Cool. The only thing, my only real complaint is that I wish.
I knew what you were gonna say.
You know what I'm gonna say. The
Yeah.
bonus game needs a bit more variance.
Yeah. Yeah.
The stupid the coin collecting thing, not
Yeah.
the coin collecting, but
The orb collecting thing.
yeah. What is up with that?
I
It's the
like-
same exact level.
I like it. I just want more variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my complaint, really. Also, do you guys know how to get the final orbs?
I had no idea.
Yeah,
No.
like the
How
top.
do you get back?
There's like these purple explosion things that are like you can't even reach them. Like, I was able to break, because the thing is, like, at the top, you see the orbs, right? Then you see these three like purple blocks that you can explode, and then you see like these diagonal light ones that you can kind of break parts of it if you hit it really hard. But the thing is, like, you can't get through them because some of them are just solid. You can't even break half of them.
Right, and on the other side, it's completely solid.
Right.
So what is to are one of those walls maybe like a false wall? You have to like
Maybe.
I saw the other day that when I was playing, my brother hit one of those like solid walls you're not supposed to be able to break, and it like bumped up, like it moved, and it went back down. So I wonder if you just like hit it and like crouch under.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if it's that wall, but it was like I don't think it was that one. It was a different one. That he hit it and it just like kept bouncing up. So I'm wondering if you hit it and you slide under the gap. I wonder if that wall's like that as well.
You also barely have any time.
Yeah, you do.
You
don't
don't.
have much time.
So it's not that I don't like the map. I like the map. I think I feel like that
Should be more maps.
They should mix it up. And I don't think they're going to change it though. I don't think they're going to go back and change it. I think they add some cool updates like Target Breaker, Home Run Contest. They're not going to really do anything with that. It'd be really cool if they did, but I don't think they will.
I mean, if they add Target Break and you know, like board the platforms, it wouldn't be that hard to update it to
like
randomly be that.
Right, like what if it's just a different bonus game each time? That'd be fine. If they added more bonus games, right, and then you can access all the bonus games in a different mode outside of it as well.
Yeah,
I would love that. That would be great. I'm down.
You think they're going to do that? You think they're going to add modes like that?
I hope. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
I hope.
Yeah.
I did
It'd be
hear
nice.
that in the data mine there was music for Target Break and Home Run Contest.
Really?
Interesting.
There was music. That doesn't mean the stages they'll add that. But there was just music
Right.
for it of those stages. So I don't know if that's just.
I mean, they were at least at some point planning it.
I don't know if it may even just be that they're a part of the miscellaneous songs, right? Because there are miscellaneous songs. It could just be that. I would hope that it could be that they do plan on adding that in there. Speaking of the data mine, for those who haven't heard, there actually are 2 rare spirits in the data mine as well, which is why I'm really big on Banjo happening, because if Nintendo went ahead and got the rights to rare spirits in the game, they get the rights to rare anything. What do you think that's going to lead to? Banjo-Kazooie.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
What if it's Master Chief?
That's not a rare thing.
It's not rare.
It's not rare.
It's Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's not rare.
But hey, I wouldn't be against it though. I wouldn't be against Master Chief. Now that Persona 5 with the whole Persona 5 thing, like all bets are off.
Right.
Anything
I think
can
Doom
happen.
Guy would be more fitting, but I really personally like Master Chief because I am a really big Halo fan, so it'd be dope to see him in. But I mean, I understand like Doom Guy makes more sense. Doom Guy actually has a big Nintendo history. My Master Chief doesn't have any because he's pretty much the mascot for Microsoft. So
Yeah, I would say that the only characters that are really off limits now are Sony IP and Microsoft IP that are like purely on those systems. Like, for example, Banjo-Kazooie at least has a legacy with Nintendo, right? And Nintendo might be able to get some deal with N64 Classic. But like Master Chief is kind of like that is Microsoft Mario, right? And like Sony, like we're not gonna get Kratos because God of War will never ever be on a Nintendo system, never, right? But characters like Joker from Persona 5, Doom Guy, at least those are characters that could be on a game on a Nintendo system. You know, Cloud, even though it was associated with Sony, is a Square character, and we're at least going to get the Final Fantasy VII port on the Switch early next year. So characters like that, I think, still have more of a chance. Actually, Sora's possible. Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be that all these characters are tied into some sort of release next year.
Right.
Like maybe Persona 5 is coming, right? And that would make sense.
You mentioned Sora, and I keep hearing people bring up, oh, Sora can't get in because Disney. Technically, I don't think Sora is owned by Disney at all. I think Sora is completely Square. It's a unique character to Square. Donald and Goofy are in a game with Sora, but Sora himself is not a character related to Disney.
That's the way I see
really
it.
owned by Square.
Yeah. Although, if you were to have a Final Smash, it'd be neat to have both Goofy and Donald Duck in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
It would, but it doesn't have to be. If Disney didn't want it,
right.
If Disney was against it, there were other Kingdom Hearts characters you could use for things like that.
But to play devil's advocate, Square themselves is they're very reserved about their copyright. Like, people keep on complaining about it. There are only 2 Square songs in all of Smash Ultimate. And by contrast, there are 34 Castlevania songs as opposed to 2 Final Fantasy songs, right? And the spirit image that represents Cloud is just a PNG for his Smash render, not the PNG from his original game, like all the other like actual spirit and PNGs for their particular characters. Have you guys noticed that?
It's very odd. Yeah.
Like when you beat it with Ness, you get his original PNG from Earthbound 2.
Everybody's PNG is different, is from their model in Smash, but his is the only one that's the same.
Yeah, and it's just because I think Square is very picky about the copyright they're allowing. So
I think though if I don't think Donald and Goofy would be a big deal because it's not like there's another version of Smash Brothers that Disney owns. You know what I'm saying? That's competing with this, or that they're in another fighting game that's competing with this. And
it doesn't hurt them to have them in there.
No, not at all. On the opposite, it'll help them exactly because people like that's the reason I got into Earthbound was because I played the original Smash 64 and I saw this character come out. I'm like, wait a minute, I think I've seen this before. Like I've heard of this game. And then I went back and played it and thought it was amazing. But that's the only reason why I went to go back and play it because I saw I saw this character in this game. So it's definitely like good for marketing, on a marketing standpoint.
It's like the only reason Fire Emblem still exists in North America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. No, but yeah, I think Sora's possible, and maybe the reason why we're not getting the Square stuff now is because they want to have a challenger pack where and they actually get money for having all their songs and stuff in the game. Like that's possible. Yeah, I still want Geno, but I feel like after seeing Joker and now that Nintendo's picking the characters, I feel like the hope of Geno is dissipating. Right, and it's kind of more about the big characters that are representative for a particular game that could come out next year. Like I would love to see a Kingdom Hearts 3 port on the Switch. That'd be cool. And Doom Eternal is coming to the Switch next year. What if they do tie in a Doom guy?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. I think Silex maybe has a shot because Metroid Prime 4. Right?
Oh, somebody said on Twitter, what if it's a Mortal Kombat character?
That'd be interesting.
Sub-Zero or Scorpion. That'd
be interesting.
Why not?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be cool. It would be. It's interesting because like these characters are not the characters that I predicted at all, but they're also still really cool, and I would be really excited about them. Like, damn. But imagine the fatality though. That's the thing. But Mortal Kombat has to be really gruesome, and there has to be like dismemberment and blood.
I mean, they could tone it down. It's not that. Like Bayonetta's pretty mature rated.
You can kind of see your bod. She goes naked in Smash, sort of. Like they cover it up like a little, but you can see her bod when she does pull out her hair. Because the whole thing about Bayonetta is that her clothes are her hair and her demons are her hair. So whenever she does like one of her demon attacks, all of her hair leaves her body and transforms into the attack. So she gets naked as she does that, briefly. So, you know, they cover her up slightly. But I mean, that's still like kind of like that's, to have that in Smash, like that's like a whoa, you know? I don't know, for that reason, I want to see Mortal Kombat in there just to see how they handle the fatalities. Because the final Smash has to be a fatality. It has to be, you know. Like there's no way you get a Mortal Kombat character in there, and you don't reference fatalities, because that's what Mortal Kombat's all about.
Right. I think they could get a fatality in there. I mean, you don't have to show like broken bones and stuff, or you could make it like cartoonish or. I don't know. There's plenty of ways they could do it.
There may even be a way to like they do it in a way that's comical. That kind of references like, hey, look, we can't actually show you blood or like skeletons breaking and guts everywhere, but we can do it in a really interesting way that kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's a way they can make a joke out of it as you do it. I
mean, let's be honest. Every final Smash is a fatality because no one would be able to survive that. Like no human body would be able to survive like a blast from K. Rool's mountain or whatever.
What they could do is they could do like the whole black and red silhouette thing. Like remember with the Ridley trailer for Smash Brothers, we saw Mega Man and Mario get basically fatality'd. They could do that. They could do that. And they could even show dismemberment if it's like a black screen. And then they just like you see like the silhouette, it like, whoosh, and then you just see the plume of destruction afterwards when it goes back to normal gameplay. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that's another idea. There you go. Cool. Yeah, is there anything else you guys want to kind of add to how your thoughts on Smash before we kind of get to the chat?
Great.
I guess
speechless.
The only thing I could say is I guess the only part of the game that disappointed me is the new levels aren't that good. Like, I thought the new stages are okay, like they work, but none of them were great. Like, I barely played them, to be honest. Like, I played all of them once, and I was like, okay, I'm good.
How do you guys feel about the stage morph?
It's great. I use it like all the time. We're playing.
I haven't used it yet.
Wow,
I like it a lot. At first, when I was seeing it in like trailers or like commercials or just kind of like early gameplay of the game, I didn't like it because it looked like there was a specific time for the stage morph. So that meant stages like the halberd stage where you would always start in the beginning. Every time it would switch, it would always start in the beginning. You could never actually see the fight would never ever end up on the actual aircraft, halberd. Right, on the actual halberd. So. But that's the thing that you can set that. You can set the amount of time it takes to stage morph. And I just have it set to random. So, you know, you can end up fighting for like 5 minutes without it morphing, and then it morphs. Right? So you can still get that time. So, like, my ideal mode that I've another thing, you can create your own, like, actual, like, set now for the way you want to handle your matches. So my most used actual mode is stage morph. So what happens is we pick 2 stages, right? And I just pick random. And you know, it's any of the 103 stages, right? Which I think most of them are really good. And then it's 3 stock, 6 minutes. I have a 6-minute timer with 3 stock. No smash meter because I just kind of feel like it adds too much smash meter. Like then everyone's smashing all the time. I like with just a smash ball, it's fine enough.
I actually use the smash meter a lot. I'm considering taking out the smash balls though, because you use final smashes a lot, but I like it. It makes it a lot faster pace. People are like when you have a higher stock battle, because I actually use 6. I like 6 stock. Like 3's too quick, especially with stage morph. I never get to the next stage I get like barely into the next stage and the match is over.
Yeah, so. I see what you're saying there. What I like about what I'm doing though is that because I put a timer on it now, I can still get the stocks and kill people in that way, in a legitimate way, but sometimes the match takes so long that we get to the 6-minute mark so that we can get to sudden death. Because I love sudden death. Sudden death is so cool. But when you do stock normally, I feel like a lot of times, because if you don't add a timer, you don't get the sudden death, and I love the sudden death element. But it should only happen sometimes. And with the 6-minute timer, for me, I feel like I found that right balance where sometimes we get a sudden death, but most of the time it just ends because we kill each other legitimately. And I think I found a good balance. So I'm enjoying what the setup I have so far.
That's a good point. I might do that. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah, but Koloko, how do you feel about that Smash meter?
I've not used it yet. I haven't used it. All I've been doing is like what I'm doing right now is playing through Classic, man, and playing online. It's just regular matches. But I haven't had a chance. This game has so much content that I haven't had a chance to even test that stuff out yet. I do want to eventually. I'm just enjoying just doing this right now, just playing it as normal. Because I sat through. I intentionally did not want to play the Wii U version for a while because of this. Because I wanted to come into it like oh, I haven't played Smash in a long time, and just take it all in. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's a blast, man. It really I think honestly I think it's way better. It's the best Smash yet. I really do think so.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Yeah, what were you gonna say, Brandon?
I hear a lot of people complaining about like unlocking characters, but I actually love unlocking the characters. Like I think we were touched on this a little bit earlier, but unlocking the characters I think keeps the game feeling like even more fresh and new every time, and it gives it I think much more incentive to try new characters when you have less of them. If you get like a match, you start the game, there's like 70+ characters. You're just like, oh man, I don't know who to play. And you end up kind of like picking somebody and then kind of like sticking with them.
But you still get them really fast.
Yeah. In this way, like I'm like, oh, I got a new character. Oh, let me try that character out. Oh, I unlocked another character. Let me try this character out. And I'm constantly trying new characers.
Right. I haven't tried every character yet, but I feel like it's kind of staggering. Like before I had my hands on the game, I was like, okay, this is a lot of characters. But when you actually have access to all the characters and you keep on unlocking them, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. How am I ever going to get a good grip on all of them?
I saw somebody who had the whole thing, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I started feeling, I probably have like less than half, and I've started feeling like, oh, I got a pretty good amount of characters. I saw theirs, so I was like, oh, so many.
Today there was that Kotaku editor, that journalist, Jason Schreier or whatever. He said something so stupid.
I think, was it you that got blocked on Twitter?
Yeah, because I said here this guy comes again with his bad takes, because he said that the fact that you have to unlock every character in Smash is the biggest, like he said it's something where I'm not gonna quote him, but he said the biggest like mistake that Nintendo has done with the Switch so far. He actually said that.
He's a fucking idiot.
It's
that's like the best part of this game.
It's the best part.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. And everybody, dude, you look at his mentions. Everybody was just like, no, this is actually a lot of fun.
And even if it was a bad design decision, that's hyperbole to the extreme. To say it's the worst decision they've made on the Switch, this guy's an idiot.
I did a poll. I actually did a poll. Like, let me see where it's at right now. But it was like, what would you have rather done? Everything was already unlocked, and look, 91% said yes, unlocks are fun, and 9% said no, they should have been playable from the get-go, and that's with 35 votes.
Okay. And I think it's like two different mentalities. It's the instant gratification mentality and the I'm a gamer and I like playing for the challenge and having that reward, right? That sense of reward and satisfaction after putting time into the game. And I feel like Smash Ultimate kind of balances out pretty well, because you unlock the characters really quick. Like every time you do classic mode, you're getting a new character.
Dude, every time I was doing a match in normal Smash, I was playing just with my brother. We were playing normal Smash against two computers, and like almost every match, new challenger. I was like, oh my gosh. It was literally almost every match. We played a lot of matches. I unlocked most of my characters that way. There was like 1 or 2 matches where I was like, oh, no new challenger. That's weird.
I know it's a little bit, it's not the same thing. It's not. But it kind of reminds me of like when we first started playing Breath of the Wild. We were like, how many shrines you got? Like, you know what I mean? Like that. Now, like the conversation now is like,
Right.
How many characters have you unlocked?
And which one did you unlock first, right? Because the way you
Yeah.
play the game, the characters that you get first are completely different. Like the order, there's so many different like patterns in place. If you look it up, there's like so many different ways to unlock the characters and so many different trajectories. It can be kind of complicated. So like everyone has like a different experience of which characters they got first. Like for some people, it's like, oh, I got Mewtwo first. I was like, oh, well, I still haven't gotten Mewtwo yet. He's probably my last character. I actually believe Mewtwo is gonna be the last character I'm gonna unlock. Because I have. You guys...
I still don't even have Ridley. I do not have Ridley.
Oh, I have Ridley. I have Ridley. I have King K. Rool. I have Richter. I have Simon Belmont.
I don't have Richter, but I have Simon.
So I think we have a lot to still talk about. If we're gonna kind of just talk about each of the characters, we haven't even touched on the characters at all yet.
Oh,
so let me kind of get to the chat so we can get to them for a little bit, and then we'll get back to the characters. We good for that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. I know Super Chris wanted to say something. Let me see. He wanted to say something. Where did he put it? So he said, Smash Ultimate fixed everything wrong with the previous Smash Bros. Installments except for online mode. I think that's pretty much correct. Yeah. I think Smash Wii U, they fixed a lot of the issues they had Smash with Wii U. And Smash Wii U didn't have a good home run contest or target break, so they took out something that was kind of broken in Smash Wii U. They haven't fixed it yet, but, you know, it's better than having a bad one. Master Ren saying he has shitty internet, but on the Switch, when you use the LAN adapter, it worked perfectly. There you go. So yeah, if you don't have good Wi-Fi, the LAN adapter is the right way to go, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Syndiquil says that y'all are missing that there is a ton of lag in Splatoon and Mario Kart. You just don't notice it since the games aren't as reliant on good frames. Lag is way more noticeable in fighters. It could
yes.
be. It could be.
Well, I tried.
But Mario Kart 8 though, dude, it's silky smooth, man.
But both of them have
my experience.
Both of them are 60 FPS games like Smash Ultimate, though. And it's not that I disagree with you, actually, because I wanted to sort of make a note that the way that a fighter game is designed, it is different from the way a shooting in a racing game is. With the racing game, you can kind of predict the patterns a little bit, so there's some algorithms in place to make it look smoother than it actually is. And for Splatoon, it might be a little similar. I feel like the gameplay in Smash Brothers is faster than Splatoon. So yes, the lag is more noticeable. But I'll be real, dude, like, when I'm moving my Splatoon characters, I never notice lag. But with these when I'm moving a character, like, I see lag with just walking sometimes.
I think the problem is not the lag. I think the problem is the way they handle lag. Since in a game like Splatoon, it doesn't matter as much exactly where a player is. You can keep it smooth and keep it running fine, even if it's not exactly perfect. For Smash, it matters exactly where they are. So instead of just having it be less accurate, they kind of stutter it and slow it down instead to make sure that everyone's in the same place, like exactly where they're supposed to be. Whereas in a game like Splatoon and Mario Kart, it doesn't matter exactly where you are as long as you're in the vicinity. As long as you're in the general, like, as long as you're close enough, then you're fine. Like a game like Smash, it has to like stop because it has to be perfect. Like it has to be just right, just exactly accurate.
I think you're onto something there. I think that's a big part of why it doesn't seem as good as the other games, because it's more of an issue because of the precision needed in Smash Ultimate. So, but at the same time, Splatoon. Well, okay, maybe Splatoon doesn't need as much precision because the way the shooting goes, like it's wide range and all these different things. But yeah. I mean, games like Call of Duty and stuff, which require a fair bit of precision, I think, like those still work relatively well, right? Like Fortnite works well on the Switch as well. Like there's not like it works, and you know you still gotta snipe people and things like that. But like I said earlier, I play Dragon Ball FighterZ. Lag is still a thing with that game, so. You know, I guess I kind of understand when there's some lag. Some of the fights do work. So, you know, it's not all bad. But I do hope that they somehow find a way to improve upon it as time goes on. Because they are going to be patching the game, doing quality updates for the next few years to come.
They just need to get dedicated servers for it. Just straight up. Like, if we're paying for this, they need dedicated servers. Like, I think now that we're paying, we deserve that as a feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I see Low Score asked me, is there going to be more DLC than just 5, maybe another Challengers pack? It's not out of the question. I think it's possible that they could have a second season of DLC, especially like because I don't think Rex and Pyra is gonna be a part of this first Fighters Pass, but there's obviously a demand for Rex and Pyra. Like Sakurai said it himself, so I think there's definitely room to have a second season. So maybe that happens. Don't assume it because we have zero confirmation of it. But I do want to say one little thing. So if you look at the stage screen, right? You guys notice how many spots are left on the stage screen? 6. There are 6 spots left, but we know we're getting 5 stages from the Fighters Pass. What if there's one more additional stage they're going to add to the game as free DLC, like as a bonus content?
Are they going to add one with the Piranha Plant?
No. Piranha Plant is not going to have a stage.
It's just a fighter.
Just a fighter. Yeah. What if they're going to have one free challenger pack? I don't know. I don't want to like speculate things that from what's already promised to like get people really excited, but I'm just saying it's gonna be kind of weird to add 5 more stages from the Fighters Pass and just have one black spot, because we already have the random. There's already one square devoted for random, right? And the screen's already pretty filled in as it is. I don't really see them making the squares any smaller to create a whole other row to make it more balanced. So they could just leave the black spot empty. But if I'm just saying, if we look at, remember how Box Theory was right, how the promotional material for Smash Bros was coming out and it had just basically 2 more spots for Cinnamon and Ken, and people were like, oh no, there's no way that there's only 2 more characters. As it turned out, that was 100% spot on. So maybe with that reason can also trickle into these stages, and there's 6 spots for stages, so maybe there are going to be 6 more stages added to Smash Ultimate as far as the next year is concerned.
It's possible.
Maybe
yeah,
Rex.
I think it's possible.
I kind of like the idea of it being maybe Rex and Pyra. Maybe they're not a part of the Fighters Pass, right? Because the other thing is that if you have to buy the Fighters Pass to get the Rex costume,
Yeah.
So because you have to buy the Fighters Pass to get the Rex costume, I feel like they wouldn't share the actual Rex and Pyra characters a part of that package purchase. Maybe
but then what's that costume good for after that? Like,
right.
I feel like you don't. There's no. It'll be worthless after the fact.
But then again, isn't there like Peach's crown, like for me fighter costume?
Yeah, there are costumes like that too.
That doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that I don't think Rex and Pyra are gonna be part of this Fighters Pass, but that doesn't mean they won't come ever. Maybe they're gonna be a free challenger pack. They'll add it at the end. He's like, oh, here's a bonus challenger pack, and it's Rex and Pyra with a Xenoblade 2 stage. Like that would be cool, and that could be that 6th stage spot.
Or they
maybe.
could just put another one up for paid. I don't think.
Right, or they just create a second Fighters Pass.
Yeah, I think that's the way. I think if this Smash continues to sell on that trajectory that it's doing, so it's going to be like pretty much the most successful Smash game. I think they will do a second DLC pass.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's money there. Why not? Supporting it for at least 2 years.
It's not like one of those games where you're like, oh, a sequel might come soon. No. Smash isn't getting a sequel for a long time, so you might as well put some DLC out so that the game still has more content, because you're not going to get another Smash for a long time. You could fill in that gap with some more DLC.
For sure. So Mastermind added me. He said, "Do you guys think we'll get new stages in the future as DLC, or DLC characters with stages would be it? Because I would like a new stage for Mega Man and Pac-Man." So you mean like just stages, right? Maybe that 6th slot I'm talking about is just going to be one random stage they add that's not tied into a character. That's possible.
Maybe it's Xenoblade stage and we don't get a character. Maybe we just get a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 stage. Or Xenoblade Chronicles X stage.
Oof, stop hurting
me. I'd take it over nothing.
It's better to get something over nothing, for sure. I don't know. I don't think there'll be another Mega Man stage, to be honest with you, or another Pac-Man stage. I mean, I understand you want them, and I think they're cool, but
stages.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I would like something. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's possible we can get some future stages, and they aren't tied to a particular character. But I don't know if we'll get another Mega Man and Pac-Man stage, right? But you never know. Let me see. Yeah, but let's talk about the whatchamacallit. the characters. What characters have you guys tried out that you're like, oh wow, I love how this character plays now?
I am enjoying Young Link.
I was gonna say
way
Young
more
Link.
than I
Yeah,
thought.
I love Young Link.
I love Young Link. I mean, I've always liked Link and Toon Link, but I thought I was interested to see how Young Link would feel different, and he does feel different. I think he's got he's a bit slower than Toon Link, but he's a bit faster than Link. His down air in particular is a lot slower than Toon Link's. His comes down really fast. It's a really fast spike, whereas Toon Link's is kind of like Link's, where it's just kind of you lag a lot in the air. And he's got like the fire arrows. His bombs can't hurt him, so he can blow up a bomb right on top of himself, and it doesn't do any damage.
I heard he's better for comboing.
I have used him for some good combos, so he's fun to use.
I actually hear he's the meta right now. Like everybody from what on OJ's stream last night, everybody was saying that he's the best character right now.
I really enjoy using him.
Wow.
He's really fun.
Link's finally good. Link's finally high up on the tier list. About time. It took, what, like 6 Smash games? But he's finally there. He made it.
He'll get nerfed.
Nah.
No.
It's not gonna last.
But I also feel like Adult Link doesn't suck.
I don't like the bombs.
I don't like his grapple. His range grapple, they took it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll say that I thought his range grapple sucked because I could never land it. So,
I land it all the time.
I guess I was just trash. I guess I was just trash.
I like that Young Link still has the grapple hook.
Right. Like, if you want to play more of the traditional Link, you kind of go back to Young or Toon Link, right? I actually like the bombs. They're different. Because, like, with Adult Link, what I would do, like, my strategy, like, if I wanted to go ham on you, I would constantly be throwing out bombs, throwing them in the air. So when you're fighting me, when I'm going ham with, like, Adult Link in previous games, it's just a bomb field. You just see bombs coming from the air, falling down all the time. And I would combo in a bomb coming in, as I do a smash attack on that second swing, I hit it, then you get hit with a bomb, and then you fly out. Like, I would do stuff like that. With this Link, bombs are slower. You can only have one bomb out at a time. You can't have like 2 or 3 falling from the sky if you're really fast about it anymore. So it's different in that way. But there's like a different set of combinations you can do between the boomerang, the bow, and the detonation bomb instead, right? And because it rolls, you can kind of get it to other places now. So I feel like it might even be better for like edge guarding. But that's just, my speculation. So it's different. I don't think it's worse. I just think it's different.
I'm just really bad at using it. Is why I don't like it. I don't know if it's good or bad. I just suck at using it.
Yeah.
That's what annoys me.
My favorite move with Adult Link was doing the short hop with the with the hook shot. So like you can use it to kind of just push people away, like I just love that move, and it just kind of sucks that was taken away. But so like I haven't even played Toon Link or even Young Link yet. Do they have the hook shot or no?
Young Link has the hook shot. I don't think Toon Link has it.
I don't know what Toon Link has, but
I don't think Toon Link ever had the hook shot. Did he?
Yeah, he had a little. Yeah, he did.
Did he? He probably still has it then.
So then at least one of them has it.
I know. I haven't unlocked Toon Link yet, so.
Okay.
But I know Young Link does.
Young Link has it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. How do you guys feel about the new characters though? Like, I love Richter. He's so freaking cool.
I haven't used Richter yet.
The whip is OP.
I'm enjoying Simon. I like Simon. He's fun. I like the holy water, but mostly just because I was.
He's kind of
spamming it for fun.
Kind of like a Link 2.0. Not like in the sense that he's a clone. He's not a clone at all. Completely different character.
I didn't feel at all the same.
But he has like 3 different range attacks with his specials. Like Link, they both have a lot of ranged options, and that's what I mean by they both have a lot of tools to just throw at people. And
he kind of has some Ness attributes with like the holy water, kind of that PK fire kind of feel.
Yeah, a little bit, and it's good. It's kind of good to throw it from the air because you can get a lot more. It goes a lot further that way because it kind of arcs downwards, and then the axe it flies up it's kind of really cool because it arcs down. Like that's kind of cool for edge guarding a little bit.
Yeah, that one's fun if you like, if you throw an axe and then you force them to get back and land in it, because it's kind of hard to hit people with that. But if you can throw a couple of them and then try to like force them back with the other axe that you can like throw, like the cross that you can throw, and force them back, and then they'll get hit by the axe as it comes down.
Yeah, I kind of love it. I love the character. Both of them, they're really cool. I'll say I think I like Richter more. I've noticed that Simon's, when he throws his cross, it goes further actually than Richter. But I think apparently Richter might be a little faster. At least that's what my friend Brian said. So, but for whatever reason, I've played with Richter. I've had more success with Richter than Simon. He's really cool. I've seen that Kin K. Rool can do some really funky stuff with his gun. Like, he can like grab. Basically, it's like really good for edge guarding. He can suck people up and just throw them, shoot them out, and he's insane.
I feel like King K. Rool has a lot of super armor, and it's annoying. Oh, it's annoying fighting against him.
He's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about Ridley yet. I want Ridley. Ridley's one of those characters that I want to be good.
I haven't lucked him either. It's annoying me because that's the one in my video that was my most hyped new character. That's the one I stated, and I still haven't unlocked him yet.
You're gonna get him. How about Inkling? I love Inkling.
Inkling? I thought I was good at Inkling, and then I tried them online. I was like, oh, I'm stuck at Inkling. I can't kill anybody online with Inkling.
Oh. What did you say, Koloko?
But
it's a lot of fun except for the ink. When it runs out, it's kind of a bummer to sit there and pick up more ink. I can't think of any other fighter that's like that.
Do you guys know how to gather the ink?
You hit B. I could only figure out how to do it when I had no more. Like,
no. Let me tell you guys something. Then you can refill before you run out.
How?
When you're in shield, you press B.
Oh, that's
so you can charge. You can refill it at any point. You don't have to wait till you're empty. When you're empty, it defaults to pressing B. But before you're empty, you can do it at any point by holding shield, then press B. Yeah.
That's the only thing that I was not liking about it. But if that's all right, that's cool.
Yeah. So
you know what problem I have with you remind me of just neutral B. A problem I have with the smash meter is that a lot of times I'll be using Link and I'll be using his bow, so I'm just using neutral B, and then all of a sudden I'll charge up a final smash and I won't, like, it will charge just as I'm about to hit my bow, and then I use my final smash instead of my bow. And
it's still really a bow. It's just a really strong bow.
Yeah, but I'm not prepared, so of course it misses.
Well, I've only used the smash meter a little bit. I kind of, I
wish there was a dedicated smash button, like clicking in the stick or like something, because like I accidentally use my final smashes a lot.
Maybe you should turn off your smash meter then.
I like the smash meter. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
Maybe. They do have a smash meter available in World of Light. Have you guys played World of Light or any of the spirit battles in general yet?
Yeah, I've done both.
How about you?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. It's fun.
There have been some really challenging spirits for me. Like,
yeah, there
is one to get the Rayman spirit, and I had to fight a Dark Sonic along with an assist trophy. It was the Suki Pond thing, the pink thing that's like all these little balls that attack you. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I think they put that in there because it's limbless like Rayman, right? So they both attack at the same time. Like, the assist trophy is basically a character. It's basically a character but with limited moves.
Assist trophy partners can get really hard.
Really? It's a 2-on-1. Yeah. It's a 2-on-1.
You know what I wish there was?
It's hard as hell.
A mode where you could just play random assist trophies.
Yeah. It would be fun to do. So cool. Maybe that's another random thing they could just add, you know? Because a lot of the assist trophies are almost characters. Like, they move around, they dodge, they defend. Like,
you can KO them and get points.
Right, you can KO them and get points. They're like, a lot of the assist trophies are closer to characters than they ever have been before. They're still a long ways off, obviously, right? Because they don't even have a third of the moves or anything like that. And there's all the playtesting involved that's needed for that. But, you know, it's interesting. I kind of like it.
The spirits battles that have been hard for me have been the ones with strong winds. Those are annoying. I had one with strong winds, and there was like 5 Kirby's, and they had baseballs. You know, the
Oh,
baseballs, like
God.
you throw them and then
Oh,
they
that's
target
horrible.
you. They were all throwing them. The strong winds are forcing me off the stage. I'm barely staying on there. They're just pummeling me with these baseballs, and those things are powerful. Like you get hit by a few of those, it doesn't matter if you're at like 20%. Like you're gone. You're done.
Yeah.
Like goodbye. So that one was super hard. Like I tried that probably like 10 times before I got that. That was ridiculous.
I'm playing more of the light with a normal difficulty. They added a hard mode.
Yeah, I put normal. I almost went for hard because I'm like Smash.
No,
Smash.
I would not be having fun if I picked hard because I would just lose every time. 'Cause it's already hard.
I picked normal because of the description. It said it was like a good challenge or something, and I was like, oh no.
Well,
normal
I
is
think
supposed to be like a good
I think what's
challenge, so-
interesting is that there are hard spirits to fight in normal mode, but they may be optional. Like for me, I'm just like, oh, if I see a spirit, I just go to fight it, and I don't leave it until I beat it. Right? So you may be able to like kind of go around the ones that are really hard. Maybe I haven't. That's what I'm speculating. I haven't really like paid close attention to that. But yeah, even in normal mode, there's a lot of challenge. Like this game is not easy.
If you want to get 3-star spirits, you're in for it. Like 3,
4-star.
even 2 can be a little hard, but 3 and 4,
Ridiculous.
those destroy you.
Sometimes, occasionally, a 2-star is like kind of like it surprises me like with what they can do.
I'm going in. I'm feeding my spirits like snacks till they're level 99, and I'm just like my best spirit doesn't come close to this. I'm like so far below their spirit power. I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, it's this game's challenging, dude. I love it. Actually, how far have you guys gone in classic mode? What's the highest intensity you've ended with?
I've only played classic mode a few times, but I think 6.9.
Oof. Okay, yeah.
Not that high.
No, not high.
My problem is that I'm really.
Okay.
I got to 8.9 and I was just blowing through it until I got to, because I was playing as Link, so I got to the Ganon, and I'm so trash at that boss. I don't understand how you're supposed to beat that in any kind of timely fashion. He's like never open. He's almost never open.
He's really freaking hard.
Yeah.
You have to get around and hit the
8.9.
tail.
It's easy with Zelda. It's easy with Zelda because all you got to do is teleport behind him, and with the teleport
you
attack,
can teleport behind him.
Yep.
With Link, you have to jump again and then spin attack just to get over him. So
you can't even attack on the way down. You can't even.
And then he jumps back so quickly.
Most of the time,
you ever hit him, and his attacks. Every one of his attacks do like 20-30 damage.
I have to wonder if there is a way to kind of either hit him in another area to stun. You know what I mean? Like I wonder if there's another little trick to it that we haven't learned yet.
There's
I'm not
got
sure.
to be. There's got to be because there's no way that you're supposed to be jumping over with Link.
It should be possible to beat him without getting hit. You know what I mean? Like obviously extremely hard, right, to do that, but it should at least be possible.
Yeah.
Because I want to get that 9.9 intensity. I wonder if 10 is even possible. Because
I don't know.
One time I was able to raise the intensity up by 1 whole point. One time I raised it by 1.0. I think I beat a character in like 10 seconds and I got a perfect.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah.
The highest I've ever gotten is 7.7.
I've been able to get.
I got like 0.9.
I've been able to get 0.9 a few times.
And I don't get that because it was like the fastest win you will ever see. It was like I ran to him, I hit him and he died instantly. It was like 2 seconds. And I'm like, only like 0.7? What do you want?
Right.
I don't even. Yeah, I'm not even sure like how to make that, because sometimes I do see the variants and I'm not sure what exactly it is. You know, there's another thing I missed that they haven't brought back in a while. In Melee specifically, I think that they had it in Brawl too. Whenever you would finish a round in Classic mode, they would show you all the different things you did. Like, oh, smashes. Like, they would give you all these random, like, scores based off little things. Like, oh, you're a coward. Or, oh, you're brave. Like, oh, you smashed this. Oh, you ran this. Like, they showed all the little random sub-stats at the end of each fight. You could scroll through and see what you did. They took that out after Brawl. I want them to bring that back. So you can at least see what you're doing. You know, see what's giving you the points. Because you're getting the points, but you don't know what it is that's giving you the points. You know?
I agree. But yeah, that boss is why I haven't beaten over 6.9, because I got my first time playing, I got to 8.9, and then I just lost over and over again. You don't have any gold when you first start out. I hadn't played anything but classic. That was literally the first thing I did. So I'm using my tickets. I used all 5 of my tickets. I was like, he's not dead.
Oof.
He's not dead. This is like the first time.
So did you get an actual game over then?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this was the first time I'd ever even played Smash Ultimate. This was the first experience with it, and it was like I put it on 5 because I was like, oh, you know, it would just stay at 5. It's all good. I didn't know. I didn't read the rules because like it's classic mode. I don't know what classic mode is.
At least classic mode is classic mode finally again.
Yeah, it feels like classic mode, but better.
Yeah. So I'm actually really interested to figure out how to beat Ganon, how to beat Dracula. You know, Dracula to me is harder when he's in his Dracula form. Have you guys seen Dracula yet?
I'm actually fighting him for the first time right now.
Okay, I don't want to spoil it.
No, I'd say I'm fighting him with his form, his nasty dragon.
Oh, okay,
form.
so you figure out you have to hit him in the head, and then
I just beat him. I don't know. I just kept hitting him.
Wait, normal Dracula?
157 damage, but I beat him.
Normal Dracula?
Yeah, and then he changed.
Right, I think he's actually easier in his demon form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because normal Dracula you have to hit him in the head to hit him.
That's okay. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was doing that.
Yeah, I didn't even figure. It took me a while to figure that out, and like I figured it out after like taking a lot of damage before. I was like, oh, okay, that's how you hit him. And my friend Brandon came over and he's like, oh, maybe you hit him in the head. And I was like, how'd you know that? It's like because I played the Castlevania game. You always hit him in the head. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's what I thought was cool. Is like the bosses don't play anything. Like I thought the bosses were gonna be, you know, just like maybe Master Hand or like giant versions of normal characters. Like no, they are like have properties of what's actually like in their respective games. And
right.
They play completely differently, and the stages are a unique. Some of them are unique versions of stages, and some of them are just straight up unique stages. Which is very interesting.
I wonder if I've seen all the bosses. I think I've probably seen all the bosses already.
Rathalos is a boss, right? That's
yeah.
Rathalos.
I've only played Monster Hand.
You see the big robot?
Yeah, that's Gallium or something. So Rathalos Marks, which is a Kirby boss. Gallium, which is the robot thing.
Yeah, stuff made out of nightmares, man.
Yeah, it's
Kirby
pretty scary.
boss.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, Kirby bosses are terrifying sometimes.
Yeah. Bowser, the Giga Bowser, Dracula, Ganon. I think those are the 6 unique bosses. Then you have Master Hand and Crazy Hand. I think that's it.
All I've done is Master Hand, Giga Bowser, and Ganon. Ganon's the only one I thought was hard. The other ones I was like, oh, whatever. I think I died once to Giga Bowser because it was like high difficulty.
Master and Crazy Hand are pretty damn hard.
Master Hand I didn't die against, I don't think.
Okay, well, you said your highest intensity was 6.9. Okay, I'm always going for 8 and 9s here, and it's always like ridiculous. Right. Like
I don't know if my highest. I think the highest I remember is 6.9, but it might have been higher than that. That wasn't my Master Hand run. That was the time I actually beat Ganon, so he had lowered. So I probably actually beat Master Hand with a higher percentage than that.
Yeah, the first time I fought Ganon, I died like 4 or 5 times before I beat it.
Yeah, that one was hard.
But it's really cool. It's really cool. But it's kind of getting late for me, guys. I know I started the podcast late, but we still 2.5 hours. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on before we call it a night?
I think we covered everything.
No, we got everything.
We pretty much got everything. Hey, Koloko, I don't know if you're busy next week. I'm just gonna ask. I literally created the plan for the podcast, the beginning of the podcast live. I'm gonna ask you, do you want to join us next week?
Sure.
Last podcast, because I'm gonna go on a Christmas holiday break for a week, and I'm thinking what we're gonna talk about is straight up like the Switch in 2019, just kind of talking about everything we expect for Switch in 2019, like the games lineup when
the surprise direct that we're gonna have this Thursday.
Yeah,
sure. I have sauces. I have special sauces.
Yeah,
Taco Bell sauces.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Taco Bell sauces.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting prediction that maybe a Santa will come in with his reindeer and just shower us with Nintendo Directs. That'd be neat. Oh yeah, maybe it'll be like New Donk City, but with snow on it. That'll be the DLC for Mario Odyssey. Yeah, but cool. So yeah, next week, guys, we're gonna be talking about Nintendo Switch in 2019, making those predictions. Last last year, Brandon and me did this, and that was our most viewed podcast before the whole Grinch League controversy. So that one went really well. So hopefully this one does really well too. I mean, I love predicting what Nintendo's gonna do especially for next year. So and next year's gonna be big. Yeah. So but yeah, guys, thank you so much everyone for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Let me check these couple last questions. Sav64 added me, said, "What if Geno comes with the Forest Maze stage?" Love it. If that was like a bonus content sort of thing and not part of the Fighters Pass. To be honest, at this point, I'm really feeling like Geno's I want Geno, but I'm thinking the way Persona 5 was shown, it kind of seems to me like they're going for characters that make a lot of sense for them in terms of money. Right, Geno won't make them that much money unless they're making a Super Mario RPG remake or something.
Oh my gosh!
Right,
that'd be nice. I still haven't played that game somehow. I'm wanting a legitimate way to purchase it because I don't want to emulate a game I've never owned.
You can get the Super Nintendo Classic.
The thing is,
I can find one.
The music is great, the idea of it is great, the art is great, but actually playing through like SNES RPG. It's kind of a bummer nowadays because a lot of grinding. It's a lot of like just sitting there.
I might watch a Let's Play then from someone I enjoy because that's kind of how I do a lot of classic games that are like that. Or like the story is great and the characters are great, but like the gameplay is just like eh. I'll just watch a Let's Play. I think I'd probably enjoy that more.
It's one of those games that needs to be updated, and if it got a remake, that'd be really cool. Actually, I think Shifty, like when I had him on the podcast once, and he suggested that they just said a random idea, like, you know, what if they remade Mario RPG but with the Octopath Traveler engine? And the thing is, that's not that crazy because it's all owned by Square, right? So if Square were to develop, they would probably handle a remake for Super Mario RPG, right? They would have access to that engine because they made it. It's their engine. So that'd be really cool to see. I would love that. So hey, who knows? Who knows? Maybe Geno is a Square rep, right? And it's all tied into a Super Mario RPG remake. Is that likely though?
Nice.
I wouldn't bet on it, but I would love to see it. And even if it isn't, maybe it could be like a bonus character they throw in. I don't know. You never really know. And then there's always a potential second year for a Fighter's Pass, right? So, you know,
it could be that the first year is kind of those, you know, big money makers, and the second year is more of like what veteran Nintendo Switch, you know, or veteran Nintendo fans really want. You know,
maybe that's when we get the Genos, the Rex and Pyras, the Diddy Kong, the Dixie Kongs. Like, yeah, the Bandana Waddle Dees. You know, maybe. Well, I guess only time will really tell, right? Mastermind asked me, do you think the next Namco rep could be Klonoa, Lloyd, or another arcade character from the past? To be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, I know about Lloyd, right? He's from Tales of Symphonia, I think. Right? Am I wrong about that? I guess I can't speak from too much knowledge on those series. Man, I mean, Bandai Namco is helping out with Smash Brothers, so maybe they get another rep. I think Hiachi has a chance, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get any Namco rep, actually. At least in this first Fighters Pass. Koloko, do you have any insight on that, or on Namco?
No, it's like you said, though. It's like you said, it has to make sense. I think, from what we're understanding, especially with the first one being Joker, it's like you said, they're going to want to capitalize that on the same time that they're releasing that character. There's something that has to do, like, so that means maybe, you know, whether it be Persona 5 or Persona 4 Golden, whatever, being released at the same time. I doubt it has to be Persona 5 that they're going to use. Is Joker in the other one? See, like I said, I don't know anything about.
No clue.
I don't know because I don't know about the Persona series, but I do know that in the Smash DLC trailer, it's specifically Persona 5 that is being referenced, not just Joker, but Persona 5.
I think you're onto something when you say that they're releasing these characters to hype up something else. I think they're going to use Smash as their center focus, you know, their center game.
But at the same time, they're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be like cop out characters, because I felt like Corrin was kind of a cop out character. Although, even though it was kind of a cop out character, it's a really unique character.
Who?
Corrin, the water dragon lady, girl, boy.
Guy.
So it's a cool character. It's very unique, but it's also a character that has no history until the Fire Emblem game that came out. So I really hope they don't do another Three Houses rep.
Oh, please, no. No, that's enough Fire Emblem.
Right, like, it would upset me if they came out with a Three Houses rep and not a Xenoblade rep, because I feel like, you know, Xenoblade also deserves to get characters, because if you want to push a series that's not that popular yet, push Xenoblade the same way you pushed Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's already there, you know what I mean? Like, it's already a big seller now.
But
Smash
you know what?
helped it.
Why'd you have to say that, man? Because I think that's what they might do.
They might. They might. They might. It's not something I want, but they might do it. But hey, what if I saw a random 4chan poster the only person who leaked Joker, right? Leaked, quote unquote. Probably just got a good lucky guess. But I think the characters they suggested were Joker, right? Obviously. Chrono, maybe. They said that the Square rep wasn't decided yet, but let's just go with Chrono, right, for this hypothetical. So it was
from Chrono Trigger?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't remember. I think the third one was a Dragon Quest character, and then the other two were Silex and a Three Houses rep. Like, what if that was the lineup?
I'm down.
I would.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a nice balance, I think.
So that would mean that there's maybe a Chrono Trigger like HD remake or a Chrono Trigger 2.
Oh, either one would be great for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I would love that. Yeah, so it'd be cool. I mean, the Three Houses rep would be like the stinker of the bunch.
Yeah.
And
I want Doom Guy now.
I think Doom Guy has a chance now. I honestly do.
Yeah, I really do think so as well.
Yeah. But I just want to stress that a chance doesn't mean I'm like, oh, it's this guy, right? There are like 15 characters that have a chance, you know?
And I think Sub-Zero would be cool. I think
also has a chance.
Either Sub-Zero or Scorpion. I don't see anyone else because I think their powers would be pretty cool in
What
Smash.
if they're just... Oh, I guess they can't really be alts of each other. They have to be like echoes.
Yeah, echoes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because is there another character that could pull in people the way a Scorpion does in Smash right now? Yoshi, like a Yoshi kind of character. Yeah.
Scorpion is a Yoshi echo.
Oh, God.
I mean,
I don't think echoes can be from different series.
No, yeah.
I'm
But
trying to
like,
think
I
of
was
the
just saying like that the mechanic of pulling someone to you, and then hitting them, or holding them and then hitting them. I don't think Yoshi doesn't really do that.
No, Richter and Simon have their whip. It doesn't pull anyone in though, right?
Yeah.
But I could see maybe them adapting that with a pulling mechanic. You know what I mean? Like maybe they could use that as a starting point in development and kind of change it from there or something. But yeah, I don't really see anything. I mean, I know we have grapples, right? Like Luigi has a grapple. Do you guys know about Luigi's grab? Luigi's grab shoots a plunger and from long distance.
Oh, I do know that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, go check out Luigi. Check out his grab. It's pretty neat. Yeah.
He's got that
played
Luigi's
with
Mansion
them.
3 grapple or
Oh,
plunger.
nice.
Yeah. It's funny though because we don't grab that. I don't grab that very often, so I didn't even notice it at first.
Especially not against a computer. Like,
yeah. I'm finding myself grabbing more now in Ultimate than I did in previous games though. So maybe either I've gotten smarter or maybe I just see
I only really
opportunities
grab when people use their shield too much. If I notice you're using your shield too much, I'll start grabbing more.
If you're shielding my attacks and like, okay, now I gotta change it up, go for some grabs, you know. But I've also seen that there's some pretty good like grab combos, right? I think there was one. Which character was it that I found like a pretty good combo for? I'm trying to remember. Oh, Pikachu. So with Pikachu, this may be for those who are good at Smash, you'll be like, oh, of course, I already knew that, idiot. I don't. I'm a casual Smash player, right? But with Pikachu, you can grab, you throw up, and then you use a Thunderbolt. So you throw it up, and then you have the Thunderbolt come down. It's kind of a neat little thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I used to do that when I played Pikachu, but I haven't played Pikachu much in a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But I think But as I said before, we are coming to the end. Sabbath asked me one more thing, though. Do you think we'll get another Pokemon for the DLC? That's another option, though. Gen 8 Pokemon could also be one of those potential Spider's Pass characters, right? To hype up Pokemon Gen 8.
I don't want it, but it could.
if
It's
it's
like
cool.
the same kind of like Fire Emblem thing, though. Like, there's a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah, but they can make Pokemon like Incineroar is actually pretty cool.
I
Like,
love
Yeah, he
Incineroar.
is.
they can make them very different, but like Fire Emblem, it's always the sword guy. Like,
Well, I mean,
most of the time.
Look at this. Roy, Chrom, Lucina, and Marth are
Yeah.
all kind of like
The same. Like,
echoes of
They
each
they
other.
Echoes,
could have
yeah.
made like axe people. There's other Fire Emblem characters
And
that
I would
have different. Just don't use them.
yeah, spear people, bow
Axe
people.
people. I mean, they could have had the whole Simon kind of axe thing going.
Well, Corrin
for
has a
while.
lance. Corrin has a lance at least.
Corrin
Yeah.
is the most different.
Well, Corrin
And-
has like a lance, water mouth, dragon face,
Yeah.
and a
Well,
and a
Lance is
sword.
a shapeshifter, so he can turn
Right.
into a dragon.
yeah. So Corrin is a neat Fire Emblem character. I just wish that it had a legacy before it was announced because we didn't even, it's like, oh, what is this character? Okay.
Wait, who were the last two Fire Emblem characters? It was Robin and Corrin, right?
Corrin was was DLC.
And then-
Robin was.
Oh,
in
Robin-
Fighter
Robin-
5.
Robin was
Or
announced
four.
with Lucina. They were announced in the same trailer together.
And that was the last one between them and Corrin, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of it. Maybe-
Corrin,
maybe-
yeah. Corrin and Lucina were before Corrin. Yeah, I got the names confused.
Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe they realized that. It's because you see with Robin they tried something different, and then with Corrin something really different. So maybe they know, they're like, okay, they're all
Then
kind of.
they came out with an echo of
Technically, we got two Fire Emblem characters as DLC.
who is the
in
new
Smash.
who is the new Fire Emblem character in Smash? The Echo. What's
Chrom.
Chrom, yeah.
Oh,
He's
you're
just
right.
sucked. I was like, oh, come on.
I'm okay with Chrom. I don't mind Chrom.
No, I don't like Chrom.
Okay, whatever.
It's just
okay,
the
whatever.
same.
He's not
the
the same,
same.
actually. He actually
He's
has
the same of the same of the same.
his.
They're all
He's
same.
a Roy Echo, but he has Ike's up B.
I don't. Yeah, then he's this. He's like slightly different, but he's still the same. Like he doesn't have new things to him. He just has some mix of the old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You took the other Fire Emblem characters and threw them in a pot, and out came Chrom. He's nothing new.
Yeah.
He's just a mix of what was already there.
Well, I think he's already in the game. I'm happy he's there, so But I understand your point. I don't think we need another sword character for Fire Emblem. Like no, we don't need that. I think we're all in agreement with that actually. So, let me see. Yo, Nonsense Nerd, how's it going, bro? We're actually ending the stream now, but Crash and Spyro's Fighters, they're already on the Switch. Well, at least Crash is. Spyro comes out this year, I'm sure. Yeah, Crash and Spyro actually are also options as well. Like they maybe one of those could also make it in.
I don't care about those though. I know they have a big, they're classic characters, but
I would be pretty hyped for Spyro.
Spyro's okay.
I'm
Spyro's
not-
pretty cool.
Minecraft
Crash
Steve.
not so much.
Please
Oh
don't.
God.
Some people want
Oh.
Minecraft Steve actually. So, but I want to say that all the rumors that were in support of Minecraft Steve, not only did the leakers who leaked Minecraft Steve said that we actually were getting false information. Even those leakers now have lost even more credibility because Persona 5, no one predicted that, right? So like, even if you want Minecraft Steve, I'm not saying don't have any hope, but what I am saying is that there are no rumors that support it. That's all I'm saying. There are no rumors that support anything at all, pretty much. So, yeah, I'm thinking probably not Minecraft Steve, but you never know. Yeah.
Mastermind Tharja would just be a Robin clone, essentially. Just be a Robin. Tharja could be a Robin Echo, but it'd be okay, but it wouldn't be really. I don't know what they could do really new. Now Tharja does use slightly different magic, and so it'd be different enough for an Echo, but I don't want it.
Mm-hmm. Also, Sabbath. I do not think Decidueye is gonna make it in. I think any chance he has.
I would like
gone.
Decidueye, but I don't think so. No.
I think that boat has sailed.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, but that's it. His chance is gone.
Want to play Decidueye in a fighting game? Go play Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean at least he's in Pokken and he's pretty cool there. So yeah.
I love Decidueye, and I still don't think he's gonna get in.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's it for now. Next week we are going to be doing a 2019 predictions. Koloko's going to be here. Brand's going to be here. By the way, a link to both their channels should be in the description below. Koloko came in a little early on. I added his link in the description below as well, so check it out. It's Nintendo Game Talk. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to add before we say goodnight?
Nope.
I think Nintendo sucks and PS4 is the best. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're going to have to go for another hour then. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Take care. See you all really soon. Bye.
Later.
Bye, guys.